Hello everyone, or no one at all. Welcome to Minor Illusion and our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign in the magical and dangerous world of Eretz Nakash. We are all set for session 18 tonight. And before we start, I want to give my usual shout out to Syrinscape for the sound effects and for the music that we use. Check them out at Syrinscape.com. They have great sound files, and I know you'll be impressed with what they have to offer. I know I am, and we enjoy using them. So, with that said, I think we're ready for a recap, if you all are ready.
Of course.
All right. Previously, in Eretz Nakash, and it's been a while.
Yes. 3 weeks, in fact.
3 weeks. Something happened, and we rolled some dice.
I think that's what sums it up.
Wait, I can't even remember rolling that.
I know mine are in there.
Okay, previously in Eretz Nakash, you traveled and camped with a patrol of the Regiment of the Rose, which was escorting you back to Alestria and to King Darien, in light of what you had discovered over the previous 3 weeks. Along the way, Thaèndrys, the Drow Sorcerer, was very careful to keep his identity concealed from the soldiers, keeping his cowl over his head and keeping his distance, unless he was using disguised self to appear for a time as a human. But after an attempted ambush by a group of hobgoblins in the middle of the night, and after playing a somewhat pivotal role in helping to defeat them, Thaèndrys revealed his true form to Lieutenant Fairmont. The reaction was immediate from the soldiers, but more measured from the lieutenant, who decided, in light of the circumstances, to give Thaèndrys the benefit of the doubt and let the king decide what to do about this unexpected turn of events. The next day, the lieutenant sent 2 soldiers ahead to inform the captain that the patrol was returning and to request that he meet them at the north gate of the city. And after arriving there, the lieutenant spoke with the captain privately, presumably informing him of the more delicate matters of the current situation. The captain then escorted you to the royal palace, left you for a time as your weapons were taken and stowed away. And then the captain returned to usher you into King Darien's throne room. As you entered, you heard and felt arcane energy swirling around and through you, and Thaèndrys was revealed once again, involuntarily this time. With all the guards and the other 3 individuals in the room closest to the king, standing ready with their weapons drawn and perhaps with some spells ready, King Darien, somewhat calmly, asked you to explain yourselves, especially the Drow. We return now to that very moment with the tension in the room so thick you could cut it.
This music doesn't prescribe tension to this room right now.
This is
the
intro music. I'm about to change it to the whatever we're doing now music.
Well, that's a nice soundtrack. Does it just play whatever we're doing now? A soundtrack titled Tension.
It's not actually.
It's lame. Oh wait, you're gonna just play the Mouthers.
Yeah. I spent some time today looking through files to find the right song for the throne room. I'm not sure that I did, but I found a song
We'll have
for
to
the
rate
throne
you
room.
then.
Yeah. At any rate, that's the situation.
You think the music is good in the
That's the situation. How would you like to respond? And I say you plural, though you have been singled out. Obviously, you've got this group here. Before you respond to, I want to give you a chance, because it's been 3 weeks since we played, if you want any information about, your environment, the setting, the people, whatever, feel free to ask, because that's all right there in front of you, and we can go back over that.
Where's Gurn? He's just panicking, kind of panic asker. I need Gurn.
I thought Reggie was your favorite Panda.
Gurn is tonight.
Who did we save? I forget. Was it Reggie?
Yeah,
It was
Reggie.
pretty much all of them.
Clearly you don't like either.
There was 2 of them that were hurt, I thought.
Pretty sure it was Reggie.
The captain was hurt a little bit too. We healed him.
Captain.
No, we didn't heal his captain because he
I
refused to do it.
healed the captain. Pretty sure.
No, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything. Could you just remind us how many people are in the room again?
This is not it. This is not it. I just wanted to hear what it was.
It sounds like a sci-fi sound for like being in like an elevator or like an atrium or something like that.
It
Feels like there's gonna be a beat drop here.
Keep playing.
No, that's not it.
Do your charismatic orb or whatever it's called and have it like shine lights all over the place.
Chromatic orb.
Chromatic orb.
But that's a damage spell.
Okay, so you want to know? Someone asked.
I just said remind us of how many people here.
And who are they?
Yeah.
Let's go through who's in the thing.
Okay, so in front of you, as you entered the room, and you barely got inside of it when this happened. So let me start at the far wall from you. There's King Darien on the throne in the middle of the dais. To either side of him, and a kind of a level lower than him, there are two other kind of seats of honor there to either side of him. And on his right on Darien's right is a half elf.
Al? He's coming back.
The shortened version of a half elf is a half.
Half elf.
A half elf male who you saw on stage with him the night of his speech.
What color is he?
He's
I mean, it matters.
Yeah, if he's gold, then he might be Tom's dad.
Was your dad? He's not. He's kind of not super fair skinned, but light.
So high up. Okay.
To King Darien's left is an elderly human male, long white beard, mostly bald head. Has a staff that he has just resting there. What'd you say?
Is that the cleric? Or was that the wizard?
You don't know.
He's
Well,
got
okay,
robes.
so
You said there was one before. You
well,
said
okay,
like
so the
wizard
one on his
cleric.
right, the half elf, has wizard robes. What look like wizard robes. No secret there. The one on the left has plain white robes. No decoration whatsoever that you can see on them. He does wear robes, but it's just plain white.
Okay.
In front of the king, there is a guard, but also a gold dragonborn female, who you also saw on the stage that night. She was one of the others who lined up behind him. And then throughout the room, at various places, there are, to your left, the king's right, there are two doors on that wall, and there's two guards stationed at each door. There's a door on the other wall. There's two guards stationed at that door. There's a few guards, 3 guards stationed at the double doors you just came in. This is a total of, let me check my math, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guards, plus the Dragonborn, plus the 2 in the seats of honor, plus a gaggle of guards out in the hallway. The doors are now closed, but you know there's still quite a few guards out in the hallway just on the other side of the double doors. The captain seemed to be departing. You didn't see him take station outside the doors, and he didn't follow you into the room.
Is that going to vouch for us? Come on. That was a different guy.
You probably already talked to him.
Yeah, the lieutenant that you
We
were
had
with
lieutenant.
did not come. The captain escorted you there, but the captain did not stay.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready to talk?
And you did not get his name. He didn't offer it either.
What a rude guy.
Punch him.
Calls himself servant of the king.
So that's the situation. Room is 40 by 50.
I want to check for secrets.
I tried.
And high windows up above the king, against that back wall, 4 pillars in the room. So that's the situation.
Is he waiting on? He's waiting on us for to speak up.
He has said, "Explain yourselves, especially you, Drow." And that's where we ended, and that's just boom, right where we are right now.
Special noises.
Yeah.
You should find that sound effect so you can do it anytime.
It'd be nice. Yeah. Sirenscape.
Custom sound
Let's
effect.
get sound effects from the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon included in the sound file. For
Yeah, I'm sure all the
Specifically
Sirenscape guys
just
are one of
that
the
one.
3 people that watch this.
They are some of the nobody at all that is watching this.
Of course. Well, obviously this is going to take a while to explain because we have to...
All right, yeah. So, I'll speak up and say, it's quite a story. Would you allow us to start from the beginning?
Says, you may start from wherever you wish.
We will do that.
So, I don't want to go through, but we'll explain to him kind of our journey from so once we got permission to leave.
Well,
We
before,
went up-
even before that, because we have
Yeah.
the cards. Start with the cards, because we had to...
That's kind of
give us-
secret.
That's kind of secret. I'm not telling that.
That's a good one.
Starting from the road, we left, traveled on the road up to was it north, right? Map man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we went...
No, it wasn't north.
No, it was west.
So we dug straight down.
Yeah,
Well,
it was north.
well, I think we went here first.
Yeah. It was
Roll
this
initiative.
East.
way. we went east, and after it was like 3 or 4 days of travel, we found signs of a mess on the road, like a tussle or a fight. And so I tracked these prints that we didn't recognize we tracked these prints for a few days.
Hold. And when was this that you left the city?
Like 2 weeks ago.
14 days. It was like 14 days, right? I
16,
don't remember the time.
16.
It was the day. It was like the day of Lake Thorin or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was the day
No, it was
after.
the day after.
The day
It was the day after.
Day after
Yeah,
Lake
King's
Laren's
speech.
day.
The day after the speech.
Proceed.
So after finding this signs of a fight, we decided this was as good of any place to start an investigation for what we were looking for, even though we didn't know what we were looking for. So we followed these tracks for a day or two, up and
Hold.
Oh my gosh.
And he looks at you. Before going any further, will someone please explain to me how it is that a drow comes to be in this particular adventuring party and thus in my throne room?
Okay, so I will explain a little bit of my backstory. Seeing the cruelty of what was my father? The chief wizard. So how the chief wizard, the cruel acts that he had performed in front of me, and how I couldn't take it just didn't seem right to me. So I left them and came to the surface. And I explained that I had a note that just appeared in my backpack that told me to come here to the city. So I came, and then I ended up meeting up with all of them.
He looks to his left, he looks to his right. Rubs his chin like I'm doing. And you've been with them this whole time, or at
Entire
least since
the day
the
of
festival.
since the
Lake
festival.
Laren's day.
And you all, I don't know you, but you say what about this individual?
I'll step forward like I'm a paladin sworn to take out evil, and I'll stake my life on the fact that he is a good person and means no harm to humans or any other races that are good people.
Okay.
Your life, eh?
Let's do this. I want you to make a persuasion check with advantage.
He's got like super charisma, so.
Gonna need it.
That's gonna be a. Let's see. You said that's a
With
charisma
advantage.
check, or is it
Yeah.
With
Persuasion.
advantage.
Persuasion is charisma.
Persuasion.
a okay?
Persuasion is
So
charisma.
that's gonna be a 23. 23 is gonna be this.
23. Okay.
Easy peasy. Now we can have our super charisma guy over here help out.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks left and right again, and he looks around the room and he says, "Put your weapons away, stand down." And you see a slight hesitation, but not to the point of they wouldn't disobey. But they're surprised that he's giving this order.
He's been persuaded.
And So,
if there's a good like pause here, I would also like to add in like to to say that I also revealed myself before we even arrived here. I revealed myself to what was the lieutenant's name?
Fairmont.
So him and his men in a fight where I defeated several enemies that made attempts on all of our lives, and revealed myself to them. And you can ask him to confirm these actions.
Yes, so I've been informed. Guards, leave us, he says. And the half-elf on his right turns to him and says, "My king, do you think that's wise?" And he says, "Easy, Brennan, easy. Guards, leave us."
Drip down the name. Got
And again, you see this look of confusion, and they start to file out the double doors. And not, however, the Dragonborn that's in front.
Not even the two.
Well,
They're not the guards though.
Okay, yeah.
in front on the floor was the
One
Dragonborn and a guard.
Okay.
The guard leaves. The Dragonborn remains.
Although here's the question: where's the music?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
So there's 4 people left in you.
The king and the 3 others.
There's the king, the 2,
And the one.
and the Dragonborn.
Seems like
Yeah,
KFC
I like
about
those
killing
odds.
them.
And a ton of guards just outside the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and he says, "Come forward," and beckons you
Step
forward.
forth.
We will step forward.
Yeah. And so, you kind of know the Dragonborn, by the way, has not put her sword away. So it is still out.
Show them some respect.
Let's actually that person what's up.
As you come
gonna
up,
pick on two of
he
the
kind of just lifts a hand as you get near the. So you're maybe 5 feet from where the Dragonborn is standing, right at the bottom of the stairs that lead up to where he is, and he just kind of puts a hand up, and he says, "Now, I believe you were about to tell me of some tracks that you were following."
Indeed.
Yeah, we were indeed.
You want to continue then explaining?
Before you're so rudely interrupted.
Actually, perhaps introductions are in order.
Oh.
You know who I am. This, on my right, he gestures, is Counselor Berinin Yelwarin.
Write that down.
Who?
How do you spell that?
On his right?
Just the half-elf. He gestures
I
to
thought
the
you said his name was Grinnin.
Berinin.
Oh, Berinin. Okay.
Berinn.
It's like Brennan, but it's like
With a B.
With a B.
Instead of a
And
G.
he's a what? No, I mean, like, what is his role?
He called him the Counselor.
Counsel. Okay.
He gestures to his left and says, Kavnor. Advisor, sage, family friend.
How do you spell that?
QAV.
Oh, you weren't even
Holy
close.
smokes.
Starts with like a Y.
I did not start with a Y.
I couldn't see what it was.
Q what?
QAVNOR.
Quabnor?
Kavnor.
Quabnor.
I mean, spell
There's
it.
no U. There's no U. It's
What
Kavnor.
region are we in, anyways?
And
Not
then he
in Kansas, that's
gestures
for sure.
to the Dragonborn and says, Shrisazi,
I got
one of my personal guards. SHRES.
this. Slow down.
AZI.
This isn't the usual dialect he's used to.
Shrisazi.
You know, it was a good attempt. Maybe next character you'll got to get the whole alphabet in there.
And so Quavnor is, what did he?
Kavnor.
Quavnor
There's no
is,
U.
is
QAVNOR.
Did you still have it so wrong?
He put a U in it. I mean, he's an English speaker. He's going to always put a U after a Q.
and what is he? What's his role? Did he introduce?
He
him?
introduced him as an advisor,
Sage.
a
both
sage,
friend.
and friend.
Okay.
This spelling lessons today.
All right.
Do we need to stop there?
I should level up after that.
And I think we'll stop there for tonight.
That's a lot of names.
Make an intelligence check to see if you can remember these names.
I got this.
No, he can't.
Wait,
You got a
wait.
4.
I got 4. Did I remember it?
It was a joke. You remember that starts with a K
C.
sound.
Started with a C, I think.
If there's a
I
spelling test
guessed
after
K.
this introduction, we're gonna fail.
And then he says, and you are?
I'll go ahead and start. I'll say I'm Farryn, a ranger from... I can't even remember the town, to be honest. I should have looked
That's
this up
a
before.
name for a town.
But I wasn't thinking about
backstory.
introduction-wise. But I'll tell him what town I'm from.
Asdrúil.
Yeah, Azrael. I'm sure he's probably heard of it. And pass it on to the next person.
I'll say I'm Morzza, Paladin of Bahamut, and I come from the land from Trick.
Treek.
Hey, you're welcome.
There you go.
So I'm
When
Taèlios.
you say that, you notice that the Dragonborn, the gold Dragonborn standing guard, kind of looks up a little bit, just and then back down.
What color are you?
Silver.
Silver, but they're both wearing the same colors.
Silver and gold. Those are the same color, aren't they?
I'm wearing silver and gold. I thought I was wearing silver and blue, like that.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you are, and that's what she's wearing too.
So I'm Taèlios from the Fey Forest.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. It says right here. Oh, Fernwood.
It's basically the same place.
Where's that?
Not on that map.
I need more maps.
I'm next from the Fernwood as well.
And I'm Thaèndrys, a Drow from Dithuru.
I'm Zeldreth, a barbarian from whatever the place is called.
The Underdark.
And I rage.
Treek. He's also from Treek. Yeah. Very good.
I bet the people in Surf, do they even know the Underdark places? They probably don't. That probably means nothing.
Nope. Well, you don't know exactly what they know, but there's no look of recognition when you say the name of that
So we know they don't know.
From this, you say this Earth?
From the Underdark, I said. Dithuru is the city in
The
the
Underdark, yeah. You probably don't know about that place either.
What, never heard of it?
I know about it.
Watch it, that's one of the adventures going down
Wait,
there.
which one of your dads live there?
The Underdark is known. The
layout of the Underdark is...
yeah, it's they wouldn't know the city. And he says, and is there something you call yourselves?
Critical perception.
Well, we got
I don't think we haven't really established any name.
not
for
an
ourselves.
in-game name
No.
for sure. We have an out-of-game name.
Just tell me we don't have a name for ourselves.
Other than super awesome.
We're just friends.
Very well. Very well. Please proceed.
So anyway,
As I was saying.
so we found these tracks that we didn't know what they were. So we thought this was a good place to start our search for whatever was plaguing the roads up here. And we followed it for a day, and we came across a what was the first place even? I don't remember what it was, but
It was
anyway,
a small ruins. It was
Yeah.
a small ruins with like the we had to dig to find the trapdoor.
so we found this like, oh yeah, it was the village.
The
area.
small ruined village.
There was a small ruined village, and in that village there was a central building, and inside of that building there was a hidden, secret trapdoor buried under the ground, and we found it because it had clearly been unburied and reburied multiple times. So we entered this place not knowing what we would find.
Well, we got ambushed by them outside. Remember?
Yeah, but we didn't know what we found anyway. Anyway, in this village, yeah, we got ambushed by kobolds. And so after digging down into this place,
Stirring on either side.
we found a layer, and what seemed to be probably 30, even more than 30 kobolds total in this place.
This is the number 2 over the door frame.
With a number 2. And this is what...
Intraconic.
Yeah, Indraconic. And this is what kind of hinted that there was maybe more than just this one, and this is how we found the other 2 that we have also eliminated all of these kobolds from.
I'm gonna pull out like kobold head.
And we can go through a little bit more details about the interior and all of that, and what the black stone that we found underneath, and kind of also these like other areas that were barricaded off by the kobolds that had a lot of like undeads and But-
And the elf ghost.
And a mummy.
Are we gonna mention that?
Maybe should we mention them?
I think we
Yeah, I
should.
think we should. Yeah.
We can speak of the elf.
He asks, hold on a second. Before you get there, he says, tell me more of this material it was constructed of.
Well, describe the material. It's like
It
a
was
dark
hard.
black.
It was hard.
brick.
Hard like a steel, but like I didn't say it was like not soft.
It was almost
but-
metallic, but it was stone. Right? Isn't that how you describe
Yeah.
it?
It seemed to have properties of both. It was neither, but kind of properties of both. More stone. I don't want to give the impression that it was like it was metal bricks, but even a solid stone door seemed to kind of ring out the way metal would.
Should have brought it on.
And it was even used and it fashioned into like the plate of the door, almost with a different consistency. Remember, because you took an axe to one of them and were able to separate it from the main part of the door, but it was the same material but just different consistency.
Trust me, my guy knows. He's planning to get a tattoo saying that he broke that.
I remember you had a good
Broken
roll on
door.
that, and that's how you ended up getting it right in there and not chipping your axe and ruining one of your blades. That's one of the things.
Wait,
you
I
were
could've
rolling
ruined
for.
my blade?
Yes, it wasn't a magical weapon.
It was a magical weapon in my
You
heart.
just hit it just right. Okay. Okay, he seems to be making a mental note as you tell him about that. And go on.
So we'll also describe kind of how in each of these layers there seemed to be these loot stashes that they had from the road. It wasn't necessarily like tons of valuable loot, but they were taking bricks that looked like they were for this castle, and then there was also just a lot of other like traveling stuff like you would find on travelers. There's like wood from wagons and all
Tents and
yeah,
other
just other
barrels.
stuff.
weapons, barrels, all kinds of.
He looks at the one he's called Brynn to his right and says, missing caravan shipments. And Brynn goes,
And it looked like they knew about it. Like they had notes on as far
That's a
as
good point,
where and when these.
We still
caravans
have the
would be.
notes on us, don't we?
Yeah,
Or
we
were they
saved
in the-
some. We saved some of the burnt ash notes. I don't remember which person carried them, but
you offer them?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, Shrasazi takes them from you and ascends the steps and hands them to the king and then comes back down. And he looks them over and hands a few to Brynn, a few to Kavnor, and they look them over and well, this makes sense. Please continue.
so I guess we'll tell them about how we kind of we searched down the other. So because of the number 2, we searched down the other 2. We searched because it was a number 2. We followed the other tracks that we found off the opposite side of the road and found a number 3. So now we knew there was at least a number 1 somewhere. And so after getting rid of the number 3, 2 of them had escaped and ran off towards what we assumed was number 1, the first layer. And so we followed them across back across the way, because this was so we had found the first
south.
one to the east,
South of the.
and then we found the second one was to the northeast. The first one or the third one was down to this
south.
the south. Yeah. So then we followed them back up to the north, and that's where we found the one titled the first number, and that's also where they had set up an ambush for us because of these 2 that had escaped, but. Luckily, we had a monk that was able to run in there, and kind of soak up all the damage.
Had to heal him because he.
But in that room, there was over 30 in one single room, and so we estimate that we killed about almost 100 of these throughout all 3 of these layers, and we brought back a head, which we'll show him, and also we can dump out the bag and show him all these ears, just to prove that we fought this many. These was only from the 3rd layer.
Okay, so again, Shrasazi picks up the head and brings it up and doesn't hand it to him, but just holds it there. And the other 2 lean in close to look. And they're not sitting right next to him. They're there's 5 to 7 feet to either side, but they're leaning in to look. And you can see the same surprise that you had by seeing kobolds, you see on their faces as well. And you see a look, without ruling for it, you see a look of having been convinced. like having still kind of, yeah, this is an interesting story, and we have received word in advance, obviously, because he said, so I was told, you know, about
But
you.
hearing it is different than
Yeah.
seeing it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so you see it just kind of sink in, the reality of it. And he says, if only you'd come a day earlier.
You still didn't explain the elf thing, by the way. You didn't get into that yet.
Yeah, I guess not. We can talk about it.
You should ask them what happened the day earlier, or something like that.
Yeah, because we also noticed that the streets were like people were. It wasn't the same atmosphere as when we left. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
What happened, Your Majesty?
Says, yes, well, you observed correctly. I announced only this morning that the roads were open once again. Because the Mythstalkers had solved our little problem. You can make, you can each make, just make his. Let's see. Is anybody?
That was the other group.
Is anybody proficient in
History?
Is anybody proficient in history?
Yes.
No.
No, I
I have a
can't. I
plus three.
can't
I'm
say
a
I'm
plus three.
in history.
You're proficient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also proficient.
Go ahead and roll.
I
History.
don't know.
That's gonna be a noob.
Okay, that's good.
19.
19?
8.
8? Okay. Well, Farryn, you remember what I think you were about to say, perhaps. At the speech on Laith Laren,
I don't know how I remember that.
when you arrived, and during the speech, as the king was talking about the offering the reward for information or for capture, or or destruction of whoever or whatever was causing was the problem on the road that was ambushing or whatever, intercepting these shipments and that. When he was saying that, you heard around you some people talking amongst themselves in the midst of that, and referred to the Mythstalkers and that they would take care of this.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Even
can
though-
we ask
even
them
though I don't
how
remember
did
that.
how did they know? so us like we took care of these 3 places. So what proof did they have that showed that these roads would be safe now?
They discovered ambushed riders. Their horses only. Tracked them and had been they had been taken by an Orog and a horde of goblins. Do you know what an Orog is?
I don't know, but it sounds pretty freaking awesome, is all I can say.
Sound like a bear.
Wait, can I make a history check?
Make a.
Who would know about this?
I'm assuming that's not like an Underdark enemy, is it?
Make a just. You can be history. Those of you with history can do history. Anybody else can just do a simple intelligence check.
Yeah, I'll take history.
Just roll plus your intelligence.
I rolled a critical 20 for my
Let's see
history
here.
check.
Either history
I rolled
or
a critical.
the other one. These are close ones.
So that's a 22 for my
I
history
got an
check.
11.
Okay.
I got nothing too.
I almost beat you, and I had the negative.
The Orog of Morzza.
Okay. Yeah. So
I got a 10.
those of you who are at 15 or higher.
I never did roll.
Natural
20.
Natural 20.
Just the 2 of us then. Do you think we should tell them?
No.
An Orog is it's like an orc on steroids. An orc on. They tend to lead bands of orcs or other goblinoid types of creatures, and he explains that the Mythstalkers tracked this Orog and the goblins, and they were headed south from the East Road south. Finally caught up with them just short of the Fey Forest, where you're not from, and which you all know is a ways south of the city, quite a ways south of the city, and found the bodies along the way. But they guessed that they were returning to a much larger group there. But having found ambushed riders
On which road?
on the east road.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the north road.
Correct, but most of our troubles have been on the east road. In fact, we're not even sure the two things are related. We know of disappearances to the north in some of the cities and around in the surrounding farming communities. But not so much ambushes along the road. Disappearing caravans. Shipments that don't arrive. People that don't arrive. Either here or in Kist.
Seems like there was multiple issues going on then, and maybe the main one was the lesser known one. Because I doubt there was over 100 goblins or orcs or whatever.
Yes.
There was
well,
over 100 kobolds.
Well,
Watch the other writers of Sigler and other group dads D&Ding for.
what they offered was evidence that matched the problem. What you offer is of much greater weight, obviously. I believe that what you've discovered is the heart of the problem. Whether it's solved or not, we do not know. At any rate, please, if there's more to tell, go on. And he sends Shrsazi back down, and he says, I trust you'll be okay with us keeping this evidence.
Yes.
Of course. It's the only reason we brought it.
He says,
Jesus.
I cannot impress upon you enough that this must remain a secret.
Of course, we will agree to keep it a secret.
We should probably tell him about that.
And since since you are looking for more, there was some other things that we found that maybe don't have to do with the ambushes, but we didn't know exactly what they meant, because when we were in each of these separate layers of the kobolds, we found some sort of each of them had some sort of burial site for what appeared to be a ghostly form of some elven king. And all of these kings, once released from this tomb, appeared to travel off towards this city. And we'll tell them, we know this sounds crazy, but after everything we've told you so far and the evidence we presented, we're telling the truth here. We genuinely do not know what these guys were doing and why they went this way, but maybe there'd be people here, or maybe any of these people in this room would have any idea.
As you say that, the king... So if you have a passive perception of 15 or higher, which on my list is only 2 of you.
That is myself and probably Taèlios.
Taèlios,
Just us two again.
You see the king's eyebrows raise when you mention these golden elf kings. You see a similar reaction on Kavnor. More of a reaction on Kavnor as you say
This is a sage, right?
And Darien looks at him, and they have a moment of eye contact, and Darien turns back.
Is he saying Darien?
Isn't it Darren?
King Darien.
Oh, Darien.
Oh, King.
Darien.
Got it.
That's what I'm wrong too.
With a silent Q.
Exactly.
And a silent X as well.
And he says to you, these golden elves, you say?
That's what they appeared to us as.
Ghost-like, almost.
Aurora. How do you say that?
Aura?
Gold.
Aura was gold, right? Not necessarily.
Who's an aura?
The aura. You're seeing like the aura emanating off of them. It's
Yeah.
like
And then
hollow.
we thought they kind of looked like high elves too, and didn't we see that?
Yeah.
And they left these dungeons.
Yeah, and moved very quickly towards the city. It was,
In
or at
the
least what
general direction.
in the
of this.
direction of the city. We didn't know if that's where they ended up.
He looks at Barinan, and they glance at each other, and Barinan, you can see as he looks at Barinan, he kind of gives an expression of this, kind of like, and Barinan responds with, okay, so there's an unspoken question.
So then we turn to each other going like,
Yes. Yeah. Well, what you see is there's an unspoken question and an unspoken answer, and
These are the people with the 15 passive perception, or is this everyone?
everyone sees this now. Everyone sees them looking
What
at
did
each
we
other and
Did we-
We saw some
exchanging
little
this.
subtle like items.
Okay.
What if they like combined into each other that and created somebody?
King Darien says, let me make sure I get this right.
Yeah, you better get this right.
Darien pulls out his notebook to make sure it is.
He pulls out his DM notes.
Ah, yes. That's what I was going to say.
He says that one of our watches on the towers reported a gold light streaking toward the city, disappearing in the hillside upon which this palace rests.
Underneath it. Let's start digging. Get your shovels out.
We knew not what to make of this. This was 7 days ago.
That would have been layer 3. Was it perchance the east wall? Oh, wait, no, this would have been. Wait, no, sorry.
Would have been
We
two.
traveled back, right? About.
It came from the east.
Okay, I'm right.
What is this like secret under the palace? Did I start digging?
That would be where we were at then. At that time.
Just the once.
This is the only report I have.
True. Yeah, you might want to check those guards because there was definitely 3.
He looks at Kavnor and just says, Kavnor. And for the first time, he addresses you. And he says, can you describe these elves a bit more for me?
See that old?
He's old.
I guess I don't remember the descriptions or.
They were nice clothes, weren't they?
Didn't they have like a circlet around their head or something like that? I believe.
Yes.
I can't remember the specifics.
They
of it,
bowed to us when we opened the. They were like a black, the same material as before, the black material. And when we opened the coffin, they got out, bowed to us, and then went on their way.
We can describe that they look like high elves in their clothing and whatnot. That we would have seen.
Dressed as though they were rulers of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Or at least of some importance.
Should we say that they couldn't go through those black walls or whatever?
Yeah, we can mention that.
They could go through the black walls or whatever we talked about. You know what I was gonna say.
Mention that whatever, we don't know. Maybe these were designed to hold them there because they couldn't leave unless we opened all the doors on the way out. The material seemed to keep them trapped there.
He says to King Darien, it could be.
Could be what?
Do share.
Darien gives him a nod of permission. And he says, There is an ancient city that the wise are aware of, at least of its existence, not of its location. There's very little written about it, but enough has come down, passed from one to the next, among different races of people, that we are quite certain it existed. The legend, unconfirmed, is that this was a city of elves. It was a mighty city that was overthrown by a mighty evil. This would have been ages ago, at the time of the Dragon Wars. But the city is, again, according to the stories that have been passed down, is supposed to have been governed by a council of elf lords.
High elf lords, even?
Indeed. Indeed. Whose histories have vanished from memory.
Do they perhaps have a son?
The nature of the evil is not known. There's speculation. Precious little written. And what is written, who knows if it's accurate or not. But no one who has studied this doubts the existence of the city at some time in the past, ages ago. But the story goes that these elf lords were overthrown by this evil, and thus the city was overthrown. What became of it, the city, is not known. Where it is not known. But this is an item of some interest for those who study such things. And so the presence of elf lords, seemingly locked away in coffins, bound by a mysterious material that they cannot pass through, penetrate, perhaps fits the story.
Does this guy know what is underneath this city? Was this city built on anything? On another city, perhaps?
Oh, this city has been around for hundreds of years. I'm sure there were other cities, as is commonly the case. But we know of nothing so grand as the city described in these ancient legends.
So why would they all return here?
Well, that's a question to be considered, is it not? Although, we know of one that returned here. You say there were two others that came in this direction too, from wherever you were?
Yes.
Is there any way that the guards would have missed it?
How far away from the city? They said it like disappeared. The glow disappeared in the hills. How far from the city was that? Like, is there a chance that the glow just could have been missed in the other directions due to topography?
Possible? Or daylight? How bright were these in the daylight?
There was one in the daylight for sure.
They were like faint. I mean, they were faint, but you could still see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
we had,
faint. Yeah. There was one in daylight for sure. I remember.
I think
It was
the
the first-
last
it was
one.
the
I think the
first
last one and so number 2 and 3, the second and third dungeons were both in daylight. I think only the first one was at night.
No, it was the third one that was in there.
Oh, it was the third one because we ambushed them. That's right.
Yeah, we ambushed them. That's right.
The rest of them we went in at daytime.
Do they know what area the light disappeared in? Roughly? Has anyone investigated it?
The watchman, the guard on duty, reported into the hillside upon which the palace rests, which you know is a... Remember, the city, as the hill comes down to the river, so there's kind of a low part of the city that even has docks outside the walls into the river. But then the city is built up on this hill that rises from the river, and the palace sits at the peak of that hill, some ways from the river. The hill itself, though, is much bigger than the palace, right? So it's just at some point it came from the east, and from the watchman's, he explains to this, from his vantage point, it went into the hill east of the palace, but it's the same hill that the palace sits on.
Is there any?
So not like right at the palace, but
So because it's built on this hill, is there anything that goes into, like, is there any storage or anything that's built into the hill? Like, obviously there's probably going to be a sewer system under the city itself. Is there anything else that goes into this hill that could be looked at, maybe? Caves or anything, like, yeah.
Barinan steps in and says, "No, we know this hillside. There's nothing there."
But there's a sewer system, right?
King Darien, of course, there's a sewer system, and that which connects from here to there, sure, but
Perhaps something inside the sewer system leads to...
we will look into that. We will look into that. Kavnor steps back in and says, "Now, you mentioned numbers. There were numbers at these dungeons.
The Draconic numbers 1, 2.
We'll show them these things.
Well, you didn't have those.
Yeah, those are just printed
I
out.
gave
No,
those
we
to
wrote
you.
them down on the page.
We'll copy them down on a piece of paper.
Well, you can also just say they were the
Yeah,
Draconic.
but
You don't have those pieces.
We
of
Well, he
said
said
they
he
were
wanted
in
to see.
They were numbers 1, 2, and 3 in Draconic.
We love the entrances to each of the areas.
Yeah.
And we can tell each one.
Barinan says, "Can you describe the locations?" of
Yeah, so
these?"
there was the ruins, and there was what we assumed was a temple of Bahamut, 'cause we found a symbol of Bahamut on one of them. And it was a
The
temple.
Will
ruins.
this also be describing, like, relative to the road? Like,
We
there was, like,
we have a map. We can kind of point out
Yeah.
the general location on the map as well.
Okay, so you do that.
Yeah, and then
So-
say, you
so
know,
ruins,
this was the
temple of
Sure,
Bahamut.
Sazi brings it up, and again, have you marked those on the? Do you want to have?
We have-
marked
we
those
have
on
them.
ours?
They're all
Yeah.
marked on the
I know you've marked them on that one. Do you want to have marked that on your own map in like
Yeah.
your map,
Yeah.
character's map in the
Yeah,
game? So
we'll
you
mark
have them marked.
Mark it so they can see exactly where we were.
So they hand that around and look at it, and
yeah, we'll describe each of the, like, the places. There was that ruined village sort of place, and then there was the temple, like he was saying, and then there was the
Graveyard.
graveyard.
With like the obelisk in the middle.
Yeah.
We can also describe how to get
Yeah,
into
there
them.
was like specific ways they were hidden. The entrances were hidden. You had to do very specific things to get into each of them. So the button that made the floor go down in the temple of Bahamut, the digging up the ground to get to the first one we were at,
and the obelisk was the different,
pushing the different buttons on the obelisk to raise it up out of the ground so you could get in the elevator.
the king says, "Is there anything else to report? Not that this isn't already enough to be getting on with, but is there anything else?"
We had some crazy weather getting there.
They probably experienced some of that.
I think it was just over us.
Just one little pocket.
I don't think there's anything else that we.
Did you say? I think you said the kinds of things you found in there. Is that right?
Yeah, the stuff from like the road that had been taken from the road.
No. The living things, the creatures.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
We mentioned the kobold specifically, but also a few others. I don't think we specifically mentioned, like, what else we found there. We can tell them there was, like, well, we kind of already said that there was these, like, areas that they had blocked off. The kobolds, like, didn't want to go there, and behind these areas there was usually, like, some undead creatures. Like, we found some zombies, some
skeletons,
skeletons.
the mummy.
Ogre.
And then there was some
Shadows.
bigger, more dangerous things. Like there was like a big couple zombie ogres. There was,
Gargoyles. Well, those are kind of dangerous.
and then also one of the more dangerous things. There was these, like, shadow creatures that were there.
Shadows. We also had those. What were those little dudes that had like the
No.
pinchers that would that stun me in the one dungeon that
Oh,
paralyzed?
those
the
octopus
mind
guys.
flayers.
The
Yeah.
Mind,
I can't remember what they're
The
called.
mind flayers.
They're not- I can't
mind
remember.
pickers.
They were. I don't remember if in game you guys knew what they were called. Did somebody know what they were?
Yeah,
I think someone
we
did.
I think
Yeah.
one person
Okay.
did.
Grell.
Grell. That's what it was.
Grell.
Yeah,
I remember that name.
on the tip of my tongue.
We've shot like
So just-
knights. Like, so, I mean, not well suits of armor.
Can we tell them about the
Disgusting
riddle?
creature with all the eyes on it.
Ridiculous riddle.
You tell them about the riddle, and they all three at the same time say, "The heart, of course."
And then you say, yeah, obviously. Obviously.
No, we keep the riddle secret. That's kind of one of those things that would like never no one would
What
know
riddle?
about.
Yeah, exactly. And Brennan says, "And you defeated these things, did you?"
Yeah, piece of cake.
The bodies are still in the dungeons. It was a little bit more difficult to bring those back than the kobolds.
Yes. And King Darien says, "Well, I must say, it is impressive."
Yeah, you're darn right.
Darn Pete.
What was it I was just going to say? I had something while you were talking. It was right about Grell. I had something that I was going to have him
He's trying
say.
to steal our loot.
He awards us with 6 war elephants.
The elephants.
Yes, exactly.
We asked for the directions to Minas Tirith.
Okay. Oh, I know what it was. He asks, "Did you see anything none of us expected kobolds? Surely you were as surprised as we all are."
Indeed, we were.
Well,
Yeah.
We've heard of them, but never encountered them. None of us.
Yes.
Oh, here's one thing. What about the deity that we didn't? None of us knew who it was.
Oh, yeah, it's
We
true.
could mention that.
What was their
The
symbol?
statue, the
Yeah.
hooded
Yeah.
woman, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she was in all 3, then wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could mention that we did find.
Dude,
that's
this, yeah, this
there was, now that he says that, we do remember there was a statue, potentially some deity that they worshipped, or whoever built these
hooded-
areas
yeah,
worshipped. It was
some hooded woman.
a hooded robe.
Wasn't there a symbol on what symbol was it? We said there was like red root. Was it?
Did someone draw it? Someone wrote it down somewhere?
You told us that. I know that much. I was trying to remember what it was though. Cause I remember going through trying to figure out what it was.
I don't think I have it. Yeah, no, I don't.
It was like a skull or something.
I have Reggie written down.
Yeah, Reggie in her hand.
What one was that in?
It
It was like the first one we went to. There was a giant statue. We
The
found
one
the
with the big
obsidian
statue
key.
that had the key on the back of it. We found the hidden.
Yeah.
A lot of dragon statues.
A lot of gem eyes.
Whoops. We won't.
Pull out all of our gem pouches and drop them.
Yeah.
Sprinkle them down.
No, because then you won't want to give us any.
We want to buy your kingdom.
See, I wrote it down in the stock. Is that right?
We can just make our own store. We just make our own store and sell stuff.
We should buy ourselves.
What if we bought the magic shop?
That would be, yeah.
And then we could make us money all the time.
It would probably cost like a buttload though.
Sure
Good
would.
thing we have a
It would probably cost way more than we have though.
And just tell us the price, and you'd be like, dump some diamonds, and you're like just sort them like into a small pouch.
On the statue?
I thought you said there was. I thought you said
Maybe
there was.
maybe it wasn't on the statue, but I thought there was some symbol associated with it. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just the hooded.
It was like hooded in the dragons. Maybe it had something to do with the dragons, like a symbol. Maybe the dragons.
There might not have been.
I don't remember a symbol.
Maybe there wasn't.
Okay, we'll just say there was a hooded.
We'll describe
woman.
everything that we remember.
And then there
seeing.
was two. There was a bunch of. There was dragons next to her. Two
I need to
dragon
roll for, like,
statues.
remembering.
Like weren't they facing her or whatever?
I don't know if that matters
Not-
as much.
not facing.
That doesn't really matter as much. It's just the.
Okay.
Can we go shopping now?
Kavnor drops his staff when you say that. And then hastily picks it up.
What's up?
And
What do you know, old man?
Spill the beans.
Wait, is that the old man? I don't think Kavnor is he?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Okay, never mind.
And the king looks at him with his eyebrows raised, and something you wish to say, Kavnor. And he says, please, describe this statue again for me.
Again, well,
I think it was just
I almost
hooded,
forgot it.
hooded and robed female. I believe she had her hands out like this.
Yeah.
Didn't she? She had hands out like this.
We'll describe everything.
Lots of dragon statues in the
Well,
immediate
didn't
vicinity
she have
as
any gems in her eyes? I don't know if that matters.
No.
Mm-mm. She
Gems
didn't.
in her eyes?
It was
No.
only the dragon
Is
eyes.
it dry?
Face obscured?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Kavnor? Well, one of the theories of the ancient evil that overthrew the city is a robed and hooded woman. Which doesn't seem likely. Yet, this is arguably the prevailing theory, but again, there's no evidence of it.
Now there is.
We asked for a mic so we can be like.
There's only a name.
What's the name?
It's more title than a name. She's known as the Tatragathamite.
Did you literally just make that up?
Nope.
Spell that out.
Did you spell that?
I think you gotta spell it.
You had to have just made that up.
Well, I
It's
did
getting
not.
more ridiculous each time.
He's getting close to all
How
26
many
letters.
Q's are in that one?
Okay, go ahead.
T-A-T. So the T-A-T.
Did you get the first one?
R-A-G-A-T-H-E-M-I-T-E.
Huh. I knew I spelled it before you. That's how I would have spelled
The
it.
Tatragathamite.
What does that mean?
It means
We don't know. There's no known place called Tatragatham for there to be a Tatragathamite. Yet this is the title. But again, it's a theory. It's a legend.
Well,
She is a legend.
this evidence that we found seems to hint that it's more than
Substantiates
just
your
a
claims.
theory.
Well, yes, of course. There have been others who've. There have been imitations, imposters along the way. This would have been hundreds of years ago, you see. But he looks at King Darien. What? Not 12 years ago? And he nods. 12 years ago. 12 years ago at the Daethlaren Festival, which you all know as the fall. The autumn. So what you just celebrated was the spring equinox. The fall equinox is what he's referring to now. Tatragathamite showed up hovering above the city. Many were killed, cast a spell, lightning. It was chaos. And then she was gone. Or he, again, we couldn't see, but clearly meant to capitalize on this legend, yet only a few knew, so perhaps not as much fear as might have otherwise been generated. However, several people died in this spell, and so that was quite enough to disperse the crowds for that night. And then we never saw this individual again. I assume it was a wizard, an imposter, who happened to hear something of this legend. So others know of the Tatragathamite, but whether the Tatragathamite actually caused the downfall of the city, or was the ruin of these elf lords, or whether these are the elf lords. Yet it's all quite interesting. And the presence of kobolds is disconcerting.
Does it say how many elf lords there were?
Yes, there were 12.
Oh,
That's a lot
we
of
got a lot more work
dungeons.
to do. Interesting.
Darien looks over to Brynn and says,
12. Let me see the map.
"Where's Davrith?"
3 x 4 makes 12.
Are they spaced out enough to be like a, no, they're not like a clock?
Let me see it.
Darien says to Brennan, "Where's Davrith?" And Brennan says, "He has not returned, my king. We expected him before now."
Davrith?
Davrith. Davrith.
I feel like I recognize that name. Was he one of the things before too?
Well, you don't know their names. You only know them by sight.
D-A-V what?
Rith.
That's a pretty good name. Simple.
Davrith?
There still could be more.
Yeah, where's
Because there is a guy
where's
that's
Bob?
missing.
Yeah. Dave.
There was a human wearing all black clothes when he was talking before. Up with him. Oh, that's who that is.
Definitely could
Or in
be
a
more.
halfling. There's no halfling.
king says, well, it seems we have multiple mysteries on our hands.
Let's splat them up for clues.
It also seems that I have paid out the reward prematurely. You will receive the promised reward. However, this must be kept secret. Even if it means the whole city believes that the Mythstalkers have solved our problem and have no idea who you are.
That's good, because we don't have a name, so they can't refer to us by anything anyway.
We're not looking for fame.
We could be the myth stalkers.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. He asks...
No.
He asks you to lay low, to not draw attention to yourselves, and he asks you where you're staying.
Well, we just got back. We haven't. We've been gone for several weeks. We haven't really. We stayed at the inn of the something. What was it?
Of the snake or something like that.
Is there a room at the palace?
I kind of remember it. The traveling ways or something like that.
The
Traveling
Traveler's Way. There it is.
Or I was kind of close.
The Traveler's Way is where we stayed initially.
Traveling Way.
We haven't obviously been back.
I was pretty close.
Been back there since we got back because we came straight here.
For having -1 intelligence, it's pretty good.
Did you find it agreeable?
It was okay.
Yeah.
We'd like a better place.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with it.
Very well.
Who's gonna let us stay at the palace?
Return to the Traveler's Way. I will make arrangements. There will be no cost to you. However, they will not know that these arrangements have come from me. Okay?
We will not tell them.
Oh,
He one more time says, before you go, is there anything else that I need to know?
I don't think so, right?
That's not me fishing, by the
Yeah.
way. That's just me giving you one more opportunity to...
I feel like we've told our story so far.
You've told everything that matters. Or
I can't think of anything else that we.
You got burned.
We'll tell them if we'll think of it. If we think of anything else, we will definitely.
We'll send word.
I got an owie.
Yes, well, that is one of the things that I was hoping to arrange with you. And as he says that, you hear this boom, boom, boom on the door. And it appears to have just been kind of an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And the doors swing open.
Are these doors 2 doors? I'm picturing like Aragorn pushing open the doors. And
That's exactly right, only with maybe not quite so much gravity in the situation.
It's the guy.
And
I do.
in walks another half-elf, dressed in clothes of an outdoorsman of such, reminding you a bit of how Farryn is dressed.
I bet his cloak isn't as
Two
good.
rangers in the same room.
They start shooting at each other.
And as he walks in, the guards pull the doors closed, and you know that everyone was ordered out of the room. He just walks in. He must be someone important.
Mm-hmm.
And the king looks up and perks up and says, "Ah, Davrath, please." And this,
What do you know about Devin?
and this
Human? Is that one?
half-elf ranger.
James even listen.
half-elf
Ranger?
walks forward, walks past you all, giving you a kind of a puzzled look.
Especially the Drow, probably.
What?
Especially the Drow, probably.
Yeah, that's for sure. And gets to the bottom of the stairs and bows, and and stands and waits. And Darien says, Davrath, there is much to inform you of. Obviously, this is not an ordinary situation. The information will be forthcoming. However, in the meantime, I need you to fetch for these individuals a diplomat's pouch. And he bows and exits the room once more. And King Darien says, it will be just a moment. In the meantime, when you go, again, please do nothing to draw attention to yourselves. Please do nothing to raise connections between us for now. You will be escorted out of the city and brought back in a different way. And you know from where you were brought in, this is not a civilian area at all. The path from where you got, other than one section of it, the nicer area that I described, but the military, what seems to be the military district or portion of the city, bumps up right against that. So you imagine they're going to take you out the way that you came, and then bring you, and then let you come circle around and come back in one of the common gates where citizens come and go.
Should we ask him about the white tree?
Oh, what tree?
You don't remember that? You don't remember about that?
No.
If you want to. There's a few minutes if you want to.
Yeah, because it was we never
I'm
seen
curious
anything.
about it. Yeah.
What's up with that weird looking tree?
Oh yeah, that tree.
Yes. It is an interesting tree, is it not? It was a gift to my father from a member of his court many years ago. He was told it was called, let me find it here.
Ooh, this one's bound to have all the letters in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get ready. Might want to start a new page.
I'm not gonna write this one down.
Well,
just a
what if we
tree.
need it? Maybe it's going to be the password to one of the riddles.
It
later on.
is.
Probably.
It's called a
The
Joranal tree.
Ah,
Is that with
Of
3
course.
J's and a Q?
And 2 silent M's.
of course.
They apparently grow a ways to the south, a long ways to the south, on the Emerald Ocean, somewhere.
Emerald Ocean. That has
Ocean.
sounds like a
Emerald.
word of a gem in its name.
You gotta go there.
You know of the Emerald Ocean. That's not a mystery. You know that that's at the south of the continent. The body of water that extends south from there is called the Emerald Ocean. It has a kind of a jade tint to it, especially in the light, in the daylight. Thus its name, the Emerald Ocean. It actually has a bit of a green tint to it. But he says that it came from somewhere south as a gift to my father.
Does it have any like special properties? Produce any special fruits or anything like that? Anything unique? Or just decorative?
Seems to be one of its kind, at least up here. Decoration mostly.
We're about to get rich off of this white tree.
Will fit in our bottomless pouch where it is.
Might.
Actually.
After a few minutes, unless there's something else you want to say, Davrath returns, and he has in his clutches a brown bag that doesn't look terribly dissimilar from the bag of holding that you already found.
Special.
And he walks in and walks up to you and says, "Which of you are going to keep this?"
I take it.
Very well. He hands it to you. And your name?
Farryn.
Farryn. Okay? Farryn. And he says, "This pouch is," and he describes it to you,
I know what this is going to be.
and I will text it to you.
We don't hear him telling
Special
us.
secret text.
I'm going to
messages.
text it and let Farryn tell you.
Yeah, but we're all there. Why wouldn't we hear it?
Because this is like handing you a card.
Oh, you wrote this yourself?
Hmm?
You made this up yourself?
No.
Well, I'm sure you stick a paper in one, it goes to the other one.
Exactly.
But if one of you gets an item, I hand you the card, and you get to say what it is.
A wondrous item. Oh, it is uncommon. A letter placed in this pouch addressed to someone who owns another diplomat's pouch disappears, and the recipient listed in the letter finds a copy of it in their own pouch. The letter can be listed to multiple recipients with a diplomat's pouch.
Interesting.
This is how we will communicate. If you need to send something to us, which I advise you do seldom, unless there is great need, please address it to Davrith.
Hopefully you got the spelling down right.
Oh, the other Davrith.
Yeah. But that way, you know
Yeah.
who it's going to go to. So
I'm gonna write him notes. What are you thinking about?
So what's on the menu today?
And he says, so, the reward. Trust me, I am good for it, but I'm going to do it around channels that will not raise suspicions. From bringing it out of the treasury.
We have a pouch. Like maybe it's just load.
It says, but you will receive it. You have my word. In the meantime, and he signals Shrisazi to oversee the transfer of you back to the captain, back to the regiment, and asks you, it just tells you, it reminds you, lay low. We will be in touch. In the meantime, think on these same things. You get the sense that he's directing you. We are in this together, right? So it's not just that you have to wait for them. If there's something that you discover or learn, he wants to know about it, and so
Maybe.
But other than that, says that if that is all, I need to meet with Davrith now.
I have a question for you. Where's the castle music?
Oh.
We never got to hear it.
This was it right here.
Undo.
I'm done.
Delete. I feel like I'm in a forest, not a castle.
There's only like 3 notes in this song.
Wow, we got here for
This must be.
1
This
minute.
is the Fey Forest sound.
Well,
that he's not from.
I can always throw in an ooze attack.
Ah.
Can you throw in some
In the
pan
castle.
flute? Like if I bring mine out, just start jamming with it?
Yeah.
You have an instrument?
I did, but he erased it off my sheet. So I don't have it.
A what?
My pan flute, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was lost
I
to
was so
time.
bitter about that.
You haven't gotten over it.
Even though you never knew you knew.
We have enough money to buy one now.
That's right.
I'm gonna get
3 pan flutes.
You can buy
Get
your
a
own.
magical
You can buy your
pan
own
flute.
band now.
Get a magic
Yeah.
pan flute.
So we have to keep low.
So who's leading us now? Like who's leading us to the tavern or whatever?
He as you depart, he says, as for the other part of the reward,
Other part?
Yeah, because if he
There
there
was
was
gold.
finding it and then
There was
defeating
information and defeating it, right?
no. There was aside from the gold, there was favored status within the kingdom. He says, I assure you, you have it already, even if we have to keep this secret for now. We will be in touch. You do the same if there's something to report. And so Shrisazi escorts you out of the throne room and back down the hallway to the room where you checked in your weapons, which you are free to get now, and everything is there.
Get your magic bow sap back.
I walk in.
And she escorts you outside the front doors, and the captain and several guard members, regiment members are there. And she turns and goes back in. They Now,
My hood's gonna be back up again.
after Sirsazi talks to the captain, and then they escort you out back, same path, just reverse procedure, out the north gate, and then you are on your own from there to make your way around the city. And
On the way out, can we ask for directions to like a jewelry store, right? The place that
Well,
was.
We can find it. We don't,
Then we have to go looking around and asking other people. We might as well ask the guards. They would know.
that can be done easy enough, though. I can make. That doesn't have to be a big production.
Okay, well, we're just saying we're getting the information from the guards on the way back out.
Okay.
Guys, we got delay time, so we can't look for items so Caleb doesn't get what he wants.
We gotta get to the shops.
The captain directs you to a jewelry shop in I think it's the Old Town district, but let me double check that.
This guy's
Yes.
really loaded with gems about him.
Yes, in the Old Town
Hopefully it'll
district.
flood the market with
Called strangely enough Old Town Jewelry.
That's creative. I wonder where he came up with that one.
So the people are named these crazy things, and the shops are just like magic shop.
Jewelry place. Place of the jewelry.
Indeed.
Which is run by Quarzanath.
It's actually a pretty good name. Put that one in the bag.
Yeah, he's probably writing it down right now.
We don't know how to spell it though. So that's
Well, I can sound out Quarzanoth. I'm hooked on phonics. I can do that. Put that English degree to some good use.
That's right. The only good you're getting out of it.
What am I looking for right now? Hold on. Since I failed
Sound like
on.
your green visor right
There
now.
we go. Okay.
I forgot I didn't add up all the gold from the other kobold there.
Are we in 5 digits yet, or what?
Well, we just got 920 from one gold pieces from one layer.
And that'll only buy us one magic item.
Yeah. Don't worry though, we got lots of that where that came
We don't get a bunch of magic potions. The magic ain't the best magic potion.
We're not gonna buy potions first. That's one single use.
It's still
Well,
pretty
We don't
My-
even use. You didn't even
Yeah,
use your
we-
big potion thing.
We used them.
good. No,
He used them
I
once.
healed up
He
you.
used-
Remember?
No,
You're-
but we didn't use
No,
it.
the special one that he
Yeah.
has that makes him big.
Oh,
Not
The
that
same
We
thing
did-
is,
we
there's
did
no, we
use
should.
them.
I don't think we should buy potions.
You're talking about the greater, like the above the greater potion. You know that heals you a lot.
We don't need
We don't
that.
have one of those.
We don't need that
I'm not saying
anyways.
buying one.
Oh,
We don't need it.
need it because
Yeah.
no one has enough HP for it to matter.
I have 48, so.
Plus, it'll probably cost a ton. We're not going to spend money
I
on
wish
potions.
I could do this like coin flipping thing over there.
I want armor that
I
like
can't.
passively heals me.
You can get some life steal. Every time you deal damage, you get some health back.
Is that a thing in
I have
D&D?
no idea.
That'd be pretty cool. I doubt it is, though.
I mean, there was in 1E, remember Caleb's sword?
I didn't play back then.
What are you
Yes, you
laughing
did.
about?
You played.
I'm just anticipating something.
Ah,
mean,
here we go.
If we talk about Caleb's sword, he
Probably
didn't
the
even.
cost of the magic item. It'd be like 50,000 gold, something like that, for
Are we just gonna split the money, or what? Or we just?
Just all, we'll spend
We'll
it all
pool it
together.
for now.
How about
We'll
I just
decide
take it
what we
all
wanna
and you
buy.
guys take the rest, which is nothing.
What are you jotting down right now?
He's
I'm just
up
adding up
money.
some just random
He hasn't
things. I haven't
finished that.
added up. I forgot I didn't from the last layer. I hadn't added up just the not like the items, like just the individual
Okay.
like coins.
So we're going to the jewelry shop first to pawn off these gems.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hope they have enough money to buy all the stuff that we got because we got.
Oh, do we
a lot
want?
of
Do we
stuff.
want to? Maybe we don't go there first.
I think
We're
we go
not-
there first
'cause
to
that
get
could
money.
draw attention to ourselves.
No, yeah. I think what we do is we kind of split up and get rid of some of these things, but we got to go back to the inn first to deposit some stuff.
I'm
We-
thinking,
We're going back to the inn because that's where we're like depositing. I mean, we're not going to carry all of our stuff around town.
Sure.
Well, I'm keeping my stick. That's,
Well, yeah,
that
you
shouldn't
can
be
keep
that
your
bad.
stick.
Okay.
Well, it's fine. You can tap the ground as you.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
I'm
we're-
checking for traps all through town.
we got like backpacks and tons of stuff, so we're not gonna like keep everything.
I think we should go to the gem place first to get more money, like, before we go to the magic item
Yeah, we're
shop.
gonna we're going to sell stuff first is our goal.
Okay.
If there's time for that in this evening, because what was it, late afternoon when we arrived, and it was probably
It was it was basically 4:00.
so that probably took an hour or two in the throne room.
Yeah.
So there might be some stops
An
still
hour.
open for a bit.
Yeah, it's still daylight.
Yeah. So if I think we'd like to try to get our stuff sold off tonight if possible.
You still have a couple hours of daylight left.
Yeah. I think we try to sell off what we can tonight, and then in the morning we can go looking around for whatever we want to buy.
All right, that's it.
So we got the gems to sell us, we have to sell.
If you're
I'm
not
not gonna
much.
go out to sell stuff. I'm just gonna go back to the room and rest
Yeah.
and recoup my spells because I need to be able to cast the illusion spell when I'm here in town.
Okay, so yeah, so are you casting that right now, or are you just traveling with?
When we're with the guards, I'll just have my hood up and head down kind of thing. But once we head back into like the general area, I still can cast it one more time with level 2.
We should try to find like a mask or something for you, so you don't have to use spells. If there's
No one can do I want to
exactly.
I feel like a mask would be more suspicious than using a spell.
Yeah, but he's got his hood. Like it's
We
not
see
like
like a
I-
magical
Do you have
mask.
Majora's Mask in town anywhere?
No, a Majora's Mask has not yet been discovered.
I got it.
We need the mask
What
from
about the bunny
Grist.
hood?
Yeah, did you hear Steven?
No, what?
The mask from Grist.
Yeah. We need
Oh
that.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that one.
Unless you accidentally let it slip off during battle or whatever.
You just threw it away, didn't you? Just like you didn't want
All right,
No,
no
it,
spoil-
it.
no
it
spoilers.
slipped off one time.
Let's not spoil anything. I might read that series.
Not anymore.
You have to finish Dark Tower before you do that.
All right.
I know he did, but it also slipped off one time.
I don't
All right,
remember
So
that.
I told you, I gave you all the gems that I had, which wasn't
Oh
very
wait,
many.
yeah, no,
I think he
did
added
know
up
that,
stuff.
yeah.
He got it all done.
I went through and
You kept track of all that we got.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many gems did
it was already. I already had it all written down anyway. I
Right.
just needed to get it all in one place, so it was easy to access.
How many gems do we have in all?
A lot. Yeah.
100,000.
We have,
That makes sense.
We have
We
a ton
have
of
two.
bags of gems.
Well, I'm just
and
curious how
gems
many,
from
like-
eyes and
I don't. I mean, I could count it up, but it's several, a lot.
Several. Yep. Several.
There's several lots.
According to my sheet, a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
It's very
Let's get the
specific.
shopping
Okay, so
done.
you're staying at the inn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
say
you
my-
go back
Probably
there.
like 3
You're-
people going to sell things. Not like everyone going to sell.
Oh,
You're
I got
greeted
it.
by
I don't wanna
the
go.
owner when you get
You don't
there.
wanna
He
go or
was
you want?
expecting
You
you.
don't?
I want to go.
I'm
I'll
listening.
go.
Stay at the bar.
Huh?
I'm listening.
He wants to drink stuff.
Well, he knows that he knew you were returning. You all went there, right?
Yeah.
You were all dropping off stuff at the very least. Yeah.
Yep.
So he knew you were returning. Word was sent ahead, and he has rooms ready for you.
Perfect.
Sweet.
And
I'm
food and everything is taken care of.
Of course, of course.
What was his name again?
His name is. This isn't too bad. It is Abel Allerton.
Can you spell that?
Isn't too bad.
Abel?
Yep.
Are you
You
able to
gonna write
spell
it down?
No, I don't care who he is. As long as he brings me food, that's all I care about.
His wife's name was Ada. You know too from your time there before.
Sweet.
Any children?
Not that you know. Of.
Also named with letter A.
Okay, so you stay put.
Yep.
And the rest of you are headed to where?
Old
You also
Town
have a chance
Jewelry.
to, and going back if you want to, they do have the facilities to clean up a bit if you want to. You reek
Yeah.
and are filthy from 3 weeks on the road.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna have my horse like they have stable before, right?
Yeah, they can arrange that. Yep.
I'll wash up.
Me
Yeah,
too.
well, I think we'll all wash up before we do any shopping.
Actually, you know what? My guy might
Gotta
not.
boost
He
that
likes the
charisma, you know?
smell of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
yours
gonna-
isn't.
I'm gonna go
Yours
ahead and
can't
do
be boosted anymore, but the
He's gonna
attack. Yeah, like 5 years.
Okay. So you're heading to the jewelers that you were told about. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you make your way to the Midtown District to following the directions you were given.
Town gems.
And
massage.
sure enough, you find the Old Town Jewelry, and it appears to still be open.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? We will enter said jewel.
Okay. Okay. You open the door, and a little bell goes off above it. A little ting ting ting, where the door hits it as it walks by.
Just talking
He
about
rages.
And back in across the store, behind a counter, apparently with a platform lifted up behind it, enough so that he sees over the counter as though he's not a halfling, but he is a halfling, because it's kind of a human-sized countertop, but
Mind blown.
he's up there. You see a halfling man behind the counter who looks up when the bell goes off, and he smiles as he sees you. He's, welcome, welcome, my friends. What brings you to my shop? How can I help you?
Selling.
We're looking to sell some jewelry off to somebody, and also just to take a look around the store.
Of course. Come. Let me see what you have.
You just drop the whole business.
Aren't we gonna keep some though?
We're
You
selling
don't
all of our
really need
gems.
them.
I don't even know
Why
what
don't we
Why don't we
need
use
them?
them?
we're keeping the magic items, so we're selling the rest. So we will kind of go through all the items with them. We said we've come across a recent fortune, let us say.
Oh, indeed. Let me see. Let's have a look. And you put down in front of him.
Maybe not everything all at once, but like we'll just set
Just
it down.
put like a sample of each of them out.
Probably like the gems and then the jewelry and then
So some of the things that you found were.
so like the gems from the eyes, right?
So like
Yeah.
Sell those and
So-
then
okay,
then
so
jewelry items.
There's. Let's just approach it this way. You have some jewelry items. You have gems that you took from statues.
Yep.
And then you have bags of gems, which are.
So they're like
these-
smaller, right?
They are. They're smaller gems, almost that can be used as currency, almost, because there's a lot of gems in a bag, and you know that these can sometimes just be used as currency as well. So it's like the difference between having a bag of. It's like the difference between pulling out a small bag of 1964 or before silver coins that were in circulation versus pulling out a brand new silver maple leaf that's never been in circulation, or something like that. That's the difference between the
it's still
gems.
technically money. It's just not the currency is it's different. It's a lot more than.
It is. So, but they're gems. It's just
Yeah, so basically
you know that there's. Is anybody here? Nobody here has like a background or anything, that has anything to do with that, do you?
I don't believe I do.
don't think I say. I'm a sage background, so I don't think I have anything in that.
I mean,
It would be written down there.
Either way, you know that the gems that were in the eyes of these statues are of a higher quality than the gems. When you get a bag of gems, there's a quality difference there that's notable.
Not to mention that he scratched him up with his crowbar.
Yeah, all screwed up.
No, a dagger.
There's one gem that was scratched with a crowbar.
I didn't use a crowbar.
You tried to.
Yeah.
I don't think we tried to. We brought it up and it wouldn't fit.
Did anyone have jewelry background at all, or no?
No, mine's Sage.
I don't say
There's no way he did.
Well, no, there's not. So it wouldn't be jeweler, but you can have the option to have like jewel.
Where would that be at?
No, mine's astronomy. Check on me.
You would choose that. It would
Where?
give you the option to be proficient with like jewelers, or
I was like.
or you would have some
Down
sort
here,
of
is there
background in
anything
it.
down there? Okay.
Says here I have
With your-
dark vision.
With your background,
I might,
you
yeah.
might.
What is your background? Artisan.
My parents operated a tailor shop. and I helped
You're an
them out.
artisan, right?
I don't know.
What does it say?
I sewed
You so
animals
good.
and stuff. I
No,
think that's
I'm a
basically
hermit.
jewelry.
Oh, hermit. That's what you are.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about like the background from the player's handbook. I'm talking about the backstory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I probably have a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah,
I mean, there might be some
and
gems
Nick's,
in that.
even though you're a forest gnome still, I would say you have a chance at knowledge here in this, a good chance at it. Probably the two of you more than anyone else, I would say.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we don't use gems as currency in the Underdark.
okay, so you put down before him what kinds of things?
We'll start with the bags of gems. I think that's a good place to start.
Bags of gems. Okay. And let me check those
Is there a
right
chance he's
now.
gonna try to rip us off?
Probably. But I wouldn't know how to estimate whether or not we're actually getting money was worth or not.
Oh, a perception. If I have a little bit of knowledge in that, might.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, you could definitely be the one to make a check on that.
You're like,
Both
"Holy
Just make sure we're not getting screwed.
I don't think we'd be screwed at the town in this old district. But I'm also not there. So.
Yeah, you aren't.
Wait,
You're there in
Wait,
spirit.
technically you said you weren't gonna go either.
I'm there, yeah. I gotta make sure you guys,
Now that I know something about gems, I think I'm there.
I gotta make
No,
sure
I
you guys
would've
know what
wanted
you're
to
doing.
go.
Well, if there
It
was
would-
some,
it would
if
make
there was
sense.
some sort of background, he would have come.
It makes
along.
sense. It makes sense.
Plus, I gotta get an elephant.
How are you gonna get an elephant if you don't know how much your gems are worth?
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to think big picture.
Elephant big.
No, he probably will scam us.
Heard
'Cause
of
it's an
elephants,
easy
but-
place to pronounce. It's not hard, so it's probably he's gonna scam us.
Obviously, it's a front for some nefarious business.
Yeah, he's probably running like the underground empire or something.
I'm surprised he's not a. How do you pronounce it? Kobold?
Just he's a kobold himself.
Maybe he's in disguise. Maybe he's got the mask.
Okay.
We gotta pull his hair.
So he looks at the bags, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12
Oh my gosh.
of various
Goodness
sizes.
gracious.
And
Great bags of gems.
After the-
he pulls out a little monocle, you know, and he's looking at it. All right, that's very nice indeed. And you found these where, you say?
In Mom's house.
You good? And he's just intrigued in his work. He's like a kid in a candy store right now looking at these gems. And looks them and dumps them out. Scoots this pile over, and he does this for each bag, looking through it. And he looks and he says, "Oh no! Please tell me I didn't clear that out." Okay, good, I didn't. And he says, "Is this it then?"
For the bags of gems, yes. Not for the gems total.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
We'll show him the other gems. The bigger ones. The better ones.
I thought we were supposed to lay low.
Yeah, that's what.
No, we ain't laying low. We selling this stuff.
Bless me. Bless me. Well, it's my lucky day, isn't it?
And ours.
So you're showing him the other gems now too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's
They
gonna know
want
that.
to be known I
It's
won
raining
them.
gems.
If anything happens, their fault, not mine.
We gotta make the money somehow.
Okay. And he spends some time going over those, and it takes long enough that the light is shifting a bit outside. It's not dark. You've got still daylight left, but between your cleanup at the inn and this time is moving on. By my count, that leaves you only a couple of items left that would be in the jewelry department. Do you want to show him that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a couple items. Oh, one other thing that you have that
Yeah, we'll show him.
one of the things you have is a pouch, like a small pouch of diamond dust.
I think that was more a spell
Yeah,
component.
I think. Yeah, but I think we
So
should
are you,
keep that.
Are you
We're
wanting to
gonna keep-
include
We'll
that?
keep that. We'll
Keep that.
Okay.
That's our specials.
There was also a little vial of a
Purple.
fine purplish silvery dust that you didn't know what it was.
I think that was like a sand.
Yeah, let's show that to him and just see, because we'll ask him if he knows what this is. Actually, wait, no, wait a second. Sorry, back up. We'll show it to him. I don't want to ask him quite yet. I want to see what he says first before we. I don't want him to know that we don't know what it is right away.
Like, check this out.
You won't
Yeah,
believe.
we'll be like, okay, we also have this like one special thing that we found here, and we just wanted to show you this one. So we'll show him the.
Okay, he pulls it up, puts a monocle in, he looks at it, sets this aside, grabs a different one, and looks at it, and his eye just is huge now in this thing as he's looking at it. Appears to be a purplish sand. Yeah, you can keep that.
That's what I thought it was.
Dang.
Purplish sand.
We almost
Is
made
that
a
a
bunch.
thing?
We
You
almost
can
made
use it as like a
bunch of
spell
money off that.
component for like sleep. You have to use sand for sleep.
We almost made a bunch of money on that.
So, okay, so you're going to keep the diamond dust,
Yeah.
and you're showing him the jewelry.
Yeah, of course.
There was also a copper scroll case. Do you want to show him that, or do you want to keep that, or what would you like to do?
That had this. Wait, the scroll.
There was no
It was empty.
Yeah, we'll show him that.
Okay.
We can make some money off of that.
We're gonna make like it's very gonna be like wondering how do they get this much stuff?
Armbands.
Hmm?
I want to keep an armband.
You
This isn't
must have had some success out adventuring, I imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fishy
a
definitely-
little bit. A
Definitely
little
appears
bit.
that way.
Indeed. Indeed. By the way, Gorbadoc Silverstring.
Write it down.
Gorbadoc.
How many X's are in that name?
At your service.
You gotta write that down right there.
Gorbadox.
Gesundheit.
It's like an evil name.
Okay, so you're showing him everything
Yeah.
except the little vial and the pouch of.
Well, we showed him that, except we didn't show him the diamond dust.
No. But the diamond dust, you're not showing him. The vial, he doesn't want.
Should
So-
want that. There's a lot of money in that special sand. You can't get
Yeah.
purple sands anywhere.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're gonna take it to the real experts.
It's
Okay.
about, that's worth at least 100 platinum.
Okay. So, he says, after some time of going through all of this, and you can tell he's particularly impressed with the gems from the statues.
I'm guessing specifically the opals as well.
The black opals.
Make an insight check.
He's not there.
I'm not there, so.
Oh, you're not there.
I got it.
And that's
Wait,
why
Wait, no, I don't got
I
it.
imagine that
No,
it's
I don't
gonna
got
be
it.
more
Just
rare
like-
than
I'll
It's
do
like the
it.
no, it would be the gem people. Okay, if anybody's going
Yeah,
to
so you two.
5 plus.
Well, this is just looking at him. This is just kind of, but that's fine. Just go ahead.
Yeah,
And,
but they would know which items in the gems
Yeah.
would be like particularly valuable.
11.
Trash.
17.
17. Okay. You don't really get a read on this. I mean, you're just kind of looking at the whole thing. Nyx, you think that the opals were probably the cream of the crop that he sees here in the gems, though he is also
Oh.
pretty
That's a good color.
pretty happy with
That's what
all
it
of the
is.
gems that came from the statues. But yeah, the opal stood out a bit more to him.
That's what I figured. Figured that'd be a little more rare than the rest of them.
So how much we talking?
So he says, well, now let's see if I take the
What, do you need the mortgage or shop?
and I do the this and if I that, and if I can do that, and yes, that seems right. That seems right. Well, I can offer you 7,000 gold for these gems.
That doesn't seem like very much.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Feel free to make an insight check, each of you.
Insight?
Is
Yeah.
everybody talking about
I
everybody?
feel like
No, these
that's
two.
a bit skeptical.
22.
We're not going to talk about mine.
Okay. 22, and your knowledge of gems from working with them in the family business to some degree, working with them, you think that it is actually a pretty fair price.
We gotta go, guys. This is.
You know that in any business there's going to be profit built into it for him. You know, he's not going to sell them for what he gives you them, but you think that's a fair price from your knowledge.
You can take it. You got it. That sounds pretty good.
Say 7K.
7K gold.
Yay, we buy 2 magical items.
You know how many elephants that is?
That's a lot.
You got a freaking whole herd of them.
Yeah, we're gonna have an army of elephants.
Do we have a deal?
Yes, I
Seems
think
like
so.
a good trade.
And this is with the jewelry too, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so
Yeah, we'll
there wasn't a lot there.
Seems like a good trade for our end, and if he's happy on his end too.
Indeed. Stop back, please
Would
do.
you have any magical jewelry?
I don't think so.
Why would you give it to him anyways?
Yeah.
No, I said,
does he?
Oh.
Do you have any magical jewelry?
No. Only the finer decorations and the jewelments, not the magic. You want to go see old Adrazel for that.
Where's that at?
I know where it is, right? I met him.
Well, we all know where it was. We walked past it before.
Yeah, I think
Didn't
we all
I
know
meet
that.
I think
him?
most of you went.
No, but
At
on
least
our
buy
way,
it.
yeah, on our way to like the
Okay.
thing, we walked past and it was closed. We wanted to go check out it before
But
the.
didn't I go in when I on my session?
I think you
here?
did. I
Yeah.
think you did.
So who know me very well? So I'm like, hey,
I
how
think
you
you
doing?
walked in and you saw the prices and turned right around and walked out.
Yeah, we won't
But
talk
now we
about
might
that.
be able to afford something.
Now.
Although I doubt we'll be able to afford much.
I don't know how much the inn is.
We'll buy the inn with 7,000 gold.
Make a steady income.
We have more than that?
We have a little bit more than that.
We
But
could
we
open our own
we
inn.
didn't get more than like 800, 900 per.
Probably have
How
around
much
10,000,
platinum
don't we?
Platinum, we only have like maybe 200 or 300.
Platinum.
Yeah. We have about
What's
three.
that,
We have about
5 gold?
300 platinum.
Yeah. So each one is 5.
It's about 1,000.
No, we have. Yeah, we have 300 platinum, and it looks like about 2,500 gold from the layers.
So we have a little over
No, no, no.
10,000.
No, more like 2.
Add it up.
Well, I'll add it up in a second, but I'm just saying. It's at this point, it's too late to actually do any shopping. I'm imagining
I want to ask the innkeeper if he wants to sell.
in the game, not in the
Still
real time.
daylight.
You might as well check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go to the magic shop, I could definitely go to the magic shop.
Me too.
Just to see, you can just see what's there, then you come back and we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
We'll head to the magic shop.
Going to the magic shop.
We'll thank him for his business. He probably thanks us.
And tell
more
them
than
that we
we
will.
There's the bell.
Tell them that I'm not there, obviously, but if I was there, we would tell them that we would be back with more if we come across any more.
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's right. You do the job.
Okay. Exiting his establishment, it's not too far to get up to the market area, which is where the shop is that you, I think, have all seen. The Magic Touch, it was called.
Yep.
And it does appear to still be open.
All right, we'll enter.
Give us all your magic items.
Actually,
Okay.
can we backtrack for just 1 second? This was something I was thinking about earlier, but I was adding at the same time. Before we left the shop, I kind of wanted to tell the guy, be like, obviously we just sold a bunch of stuff here, right? So we have a large amount of money. I'm not saying he would be talking to people about it, but he would know, that people like us would probably want him to not go
Yes.
telling other people.
Yes, of course. Confidentiality is my middle name. Always take care of my customers.
Probably.
That's why they keep coming back, as I hope you will too. Your secret is safe with me.
Tell them to keep it secret. Keep it secret.
Indeed.
All right. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. So entering in this establishment, you see... are you the only one that's been in here? Has anyone else been in
I've been
here?
in.
No.
You went in. Okay. Okay, so, as you walk in on the northwest side of the building, there's a sign there that reads The Magic Touch. The exterior of this building almost is built to look like a well, it looks very familiar to you, essentially. Just it looks like the kind of building that would be constructed out in the wild somewhere, like out in the woods or something like that. It's made to look outdoorsy, the way that it's constructed, and with this silvery script that runs across the walls. And as you walk inside, you enter a building which you could see from the outside. There are no windows. The whole room is lit with a purple arcane light, but not in a way that lights the room like a black light does for us. The light is purple, but it gives off a natural light. So glowing in these magical lights, glowing in these sconces along the wall, it's purple in appearance, but the light in the room is very natural, almost outdoorsy. And there are tables set up around the room. There's a counter with a display case behind it, and which is opposite you as you enter. So as you walk in, you've got display tables all out in front of you, and then the counter beyond you with a display case behind it. And you see off on one side of the room, apparently polishing wood, is a...
It's another elf, I think. If I remember right.
You see a human...
Nice.
You couldn't have been any more wrong.
You see a human, a young human woman, and behind the counter, you see a kind of silvery blonde-haired half-elf
This is my brother.
who looks up as you enter and smiles politely, looks a bit forced, and says, hello. Welcome to the Magic Touch. How may I help you?
We want to know every single
Looking-
magic item.
just start listing off all the items. We're obviously looking for some magic items, or
Specifically.
potions.
Specifically, quarterstaff.
No.
You got one, didn't you?
Yeah, that one. That one.
He wants one that's better than plus
Dual
one.
wield.
So, items of interest would be like for each of us would be like light crossbows for these two.
Or we just list off everything that's in the store. I assume there's not a
Yeah.
ton of stuff
I
in
mean,
the store.
You can just look.
If there's
Just look.
Show us
The
what you
tables show that the tables, you can see stuff sitting out on the tables, and just at a glance you can see there's some organization to it, right? So there's
weapons and
yes,
armor.
there's a table with some armor pieces. Very little can fit on that one. There's weapons. There's a glassed-in case that's out there with rings in it, and so on. And you do see some potions. They're behind the counter.
Why don't we start with those?
No, we're not going to
We
buy
don't want
We're not buying potions.
It
We're
depends
not
what
buying
they are.
potions.
There are some really good
Potions
ones.
are like the best things.
Yes, there's no point. We should not buy potions.
There are
There's-
some good
for
ones,
a
Steven.
single use or a use that we can always use. Why would
There-
we buy something that is a single
There are
use?
some
want
good
all the
potions. We
potions.
should just look.
And then the display case has other items in it too. Just at a glance, seems like it's probably pricier.
There's weapons, right?
You do see some weapons. You see
What weapons do you
So-
see?
sitting out on the table that, for lack of a better word, seems to be a weapon table. You see a couple of long swords, a short sword, a mace, a couple of daggers, a long bow, and some arrows.
We don't.
So can we know what the? Do we know the?
Can we ask him about the just the weapons on the table in general? Like what
Sure.
types
Yeah.
of enchantments?
He says, yes, these weapons all have the base level enchantment.
Plus one.
What does that mean?
Plus one.
That's lame. Let's check the ring.
It's not. So I would be interested in the bow. Obviously, we're not going to necessarily just spend something on. But like, if I get a bow, then I have the arrows and the bow. That's plus 2, so I'll get one more. But we don't have to buy that right now.
Well, ask him how much it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
How much
Yeah.
is the bow?
Yes, well,
Very expensive.
you came in here before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, yes, well, I recognize you. Have you been in here before?
Indeed.
I thought so. Well, you see, the nature of these items is they're all rather expensive, you see.
I bet we don't have a close enough money.
But if you would like to know, I can tell you that this bow would cost you 500 gold.
Oh.
Very expensive.
We'll take everything.
Let's just keep. Let's
My,
check this
Maya
for the
says,
ring.
what about
We'll think about
me?
it.
We'll do
You
armor. How about
mentioned
armor
him.
next? Armor next.
Yeah.
Sitting out for all eyes to see,
500 gold.
you see a chain mail shirt, a chain shirt.
I need to pull open the book because I don't remember the armor classes.
You see a set of leather armor, and there is a shield.
We're asking.
This is on the table. Behind the case, you can also see another set of behind the counter. You can also see on display behind there another set of leather armor, ring mail, like full armor here, ring mail, chain mail, and plate mail, and another shield.
Okay, so I would ask him what all of them like. So first of all, the
Chainmail's
table.
heavy armor. by
Yeah,
the way.
I know. But one's on the table. Is it just same thing, but base enchants? I assume.
Yes, this is elven chain shirt.
Oh, which means you probably don't have the disadvantage on the. Is that what the elven
Yeah.
bonus is?
And then base on the leather armor, base on the shield.
Then what about the?
Simple protective enchantment.
What about the ones behind?
Is the elven
counter?
special in any other way besides?
It is +1.
There's no.
Aside from being elven, yes.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The stealth. There's nothing stealth related with that
Well, I
because it's elven. That's what I was wondering.
don't know what's it say in there. I think
Well, chainmail gives you disadvantage on stealth checks.
the elven chain maybe takes away that
That's what I was wondering.
disadvantage. Am I right about that?
I don't know.
It
It's not. It's
doesn't-
not in
it
the
doesn't
book.
say in the book.
That'd be
yeah.
a magic armor specific thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let me look up something real quick here.
What do you have already?
I have chain.
It's not enchanted though, right?
I don't think we got any.
And you already have
magical
19 armor
armors.
class.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I'm looking at that
Wait, did
plate.
I don't think we found anything, did we?
I don't think we found any magic armor. No.
No, I don't think we. Wait, no, that was shield.
Did we find a magical shield?
Yeah.
Who has that?
See, that's that.
But I don't think no one else uses a shield. I mean, guess Caleb can use one.
I can use a
He
shield.
mostly uses bow.
You don't use a shield?
So
No.
yeah,
It's a two-handed
he
weapon.
explains that. Well, whatever he explains mechanically, it means this. Yeah, so that these rings are able to be muffled by outer layers. Also, you can wear this armor even if you are not proficient with this armor. So if you don't have proficiency with
Really, I do not have. That's
this with this
You have chainmail armor too.
with this
No, I have medium.
class of armor, you can wear it. So
Because that's a heavy armor. It's a heavy set.
chain is
Yeah.
So
So what about the ones in the back then? The ones he has in the back. What are
But you
those?
can't add dex mods to it, right?
no, not unless
Yeah.
whatever it says in the player's handbook is still going to hold true, unless
Yeah.
it's up to 2 or something like that.
No, it doesn't. There's
Plate.
no.
Plate is the only one that's.
And that's a
heavy.
chainmail set, right?
Chain
Yeah.
shirt.
Chain shirt.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a chain shirt. Oh.
Yeah, I'm saying you do have that.
Oh, okay. Oh, then it doesn't have. Yeah, you don't have disadvantage on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think so with that one.
I thought it was
Chainmail.
chain mail.
No, it's a chain shirt. Chain mail is behind the counter, which is so the ring, chain, and plate mail are all +1. The leather armor behind the counter is +2, and the shield behind the counter
But
is +2.
the chain shirt for someone who can't wear, or for someone who's not can't wear armor, who's not proficient in that type of armor, could still wear it. Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
you would have proficiency in that then.
That's interesting. That could be really.
How much
good.
is the shield and the leather armor?
5,000 each
Jeez, for
5,000?
Yeah,
Armor
I figured that'd be
for the
expensive.
+2 enchantment.
Wait, what has a +2?
the
Oh,
shield,
behind the
shield
counter.
and the leather
Behind the
armor.
counter. He's talking about the leather and the shield behind the counter. Those are both +2, and those are 5,000 each.
Okay, then how about if we
I mean,
do
those
that?
would be good, but the ones in front of the counter, the one that specifically the chain shirt, that one I think is the most interesting out of what we have here.
This is also 5,000
The chain shirt is 5,000.
because it's elven.
Yikes!
I don't think there's any. I don't think.
The leather
That one
armor
now, I
is
don't
2,500.
Just for a +1.
Yep. And the shield is 500.
The shield is 500. I mean, for someone who could use, is it just me and you that can use shields?
Yeah.
Well, I don't need a shield probably because I'm just gonna.
So then, wait. What are the arrows? Have you ever checked the arrows?
It might be good to buy the arrows maybe.
How much
is it
is
a
it?
six? Size
6 pack. They are +1. There's 2 of these packs. 500 per pack.
That's a solid people. So.
You usually always find your arrows though again, right?
Yeah.
I'm going. Yeah. But
But how much do you have?
I only have
for
6
now?
right now.
So I mean, one
let's
more
just come back to it
dex-
because I don't want to just try to buy all the stuff for myself.
You
But
should
I think the bow would be the best thing.
Then
'cause
what,
I
then
could
what
get
are the
+1.
rings? What are the rings
But
now then?
let's just continue.
There is a ring of protection, +1.
+1.
Ring of fire resistance. Ring of
We okay?
poison resistance. I almost said potion resistance. Ring of, ring of poison resistance.
I think we.
These resistance are just like you have
You
damage.
have acid, don't we? You have
Or
acid.
no, it just
It's half.
yeah okay.
Half
yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Ring of psychic resistance.
Okay.
And a ring of evasion.
What does that one do?
It's a dex thing.
Mentioned on dex.
I'd have to look it up. I think
Yeah,
I'm
the
in my
one
mind. I'm
has
confusing
acid.
it with uncanny dodge, but evasion has to do with I think if you make a dexterity saving throw.
Maybe is it like this thing where if you miss it, then it's half, but if you on like stuff like that, like Dragon's Breath, or if you
Or does it give you advantage on dexterity saving throws?
Hold on.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
we-
It
ring,
might just be advantage on dexterity.
We have the
saving throws.
acid resist.
I want to be pretty.
the only
good
one there
at
I mean, I'd say would be fire and poison right now. I mean,
Really?
psychic is good,
I mean,
but
When you
The
fail a
+1 armor
dex,
is really
okay,
good.
when
yeah,
you
but depends on how much it is.
when you fail a dexterity saving throw while wearing it, you can use your reaction to expend a charge and succeed on the saving throw instead.
Okay, that could be
actually
really
really
good.
good.
That could be really
Yeah, but how
good.
many charge? Can you recharge those things?
Yeah, you can recharge it. I believe
Oh.
it's a daily thing.
Can it recharge? Does the guy know?
It can. It regains 1 to 3 charges daily.
And how much is the max? 3?
3 charges.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That would be.
That's
worth
probably a
getting.
5k or 10k ring though.
Yeah, how much is the protection? How much is the
The ring of
evasion?
evasion is 5,000.
What about protection?
3,500.
I feel like the best one would be the evasion.
It's
I knew it was
expensive.
gonna- I knew it was
Protection
gonna
one's
be
really good because you get +1
1
AC plus your saving throws.
Is that
Is it wait no? Is the ring of protection? Is that the same thing where that it bonuses your saving throws too, or is it just the?
Actually, there are several of those. I forgot to mention. There's 4 of those. The ring of protection.
Are they just the +1 on armor class, or do they have anything to your?
Is it the
Saving
same one as the one that we found?
Is that a ring of protection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I think it does include saving throws.
that could be really good then?
Those are really good then.
And how much are those? You say 35?
3,500.
35.
Could be worth getting one
You
more.
gave
for somebody.
+1 to armor class and saving throws. It has to. You have to attune to it. So it's one of the 3. It would take one of your attunement spots.
I want to wear 3 of them.
They don't stack.
Oh.
There was like other stuff
You have to
besides
get a
that.
+2 and +3
in the
for
shop.
that.
Fire resistance, poison.
I'm saying, like, in
the
other-
resistances. Those are 5,000 each on the resistances.
There's another glass case that looked like it had better stuff in it.
There's just through the tables right now. There's a little table that has a very familiar
You have
metal rod on it.
Already got one.
You recognize it? I told
much
him we
is-
already got one.
Which one?
And 2 wands.
Ooh, let's check the wands real quick. I know the Drow is not here right now, but obviously we're gonna tell him about these things.
Do you say the drow isn't here right now?
No.
There is a wand of magic missiles, and there is a wand of secrets.
Wand of magic missiles. You can just cast magic missile with that, right?
Doesn't it have a certain number of charges though, and then it's used up and then it goes away, or does it?
Is it like a charge per missile, or is it a charge per cast of magic missile?
And how long is it?
Like physically?
It has 7 charges, and it can regain them. I believe it's pretty commonplace on wands that if you use, if you expend the last charge, you have to. There's a check that you have to make. The wand can be destroyed if you use all of its charges.
But is a charge like one charge is 1 magic missile? Is that right? Or is it 1 cast of magic missile? Like because
one charge is casting the first level version of the spell.
Can you expend multiple charges to cast a higher level?
Mm-hmm.
How much is this wand?
500 gold.
What?
And what's the other
What?
one?
Wait, what's the
That's
secret
cheap.
wand?
That's cheap.
It's magic missile.
Magic missile's good though.
Yeah, it can be. It's a basic spell.
Is it just the?
It's an auto hit, but this isn't in the arena of wands. This is low.
It seems good though.
What was the other one?
Is it in a tune?
Secrets.
A wand
What
of
does that do?
secrets.
Probably, it's probably like an identify type thing, or maybe it helps you find secrets.
We don't need any help there.
We're so good at finding secrets.
We need a wand of riddle solving.
Hey, I said the
That's
answer.
gonna cost 10,000.
While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of this wand's charges, and if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one nearest to you.
It's not bad. How much
That's
is that one?
okay.
500.
And how many charges?
3 charges. 3 charges
Maybe
plus
using
it
that all over the
recharges.
Yeah, I don't.
It'll recharge 1 to 3 charges per dawn.
So we can only use it twice, or risk
Yeah.
destroying it.
Yeah.
And with the dungeons, like,
Being
we'd
so
want to
big.
use it all the time.
I mean, it could be something useful to have in the back pocket though.
Yeah. For 500, it might be.
I mean, you
worth
could just throw it in the bag of holding, and then we never have to use it unless we want it.
it. Do you have any other items that aren't on display?
Was that all just?
No, but I haven't told you everything
All
that's
right, let's
there.
keep going.
Oh, okay.
There is a table with a variety of items on it. There you see a couple bags of holding. There's a pair of boots of elven kind.
Got them.
Those are nice.
There's a cloak of protection.
You say boots
Ooh,
of
a
elven
cloak
kind?
of protection.
Don't I have
What does
boots?
that do?
Protects
It's the same thing.
Oh, I have the
Plus
cloak
one.
of elven. Oh, you have the boots of elven kind, right?
Plus, is it
Yeah,
plus
he
1
does.
to AC and saving throws?
Should be.
Cloak of protection is. You
Second
gain a
one,
plus
cloak.
1 bonus to AC and saving throws. It does not stack with rings. It's one or the other.
Buzz Killington over there.
There is an odd.
It could be useful.
It is good.
container of, well, an odd,
Just for like
container,
group stealth checks, like having one other person have
which
stealth advantage.
Or having
it's
be
like
able to
a,
have two
it's almost
people
like a horn,
sneak ahead
like
instead of
that
just
would
one.
hold a liquid in it, and it's called a decanter of endless water, and
Just like pour water.
it sloshes when shaken as if contains water. It weighs about 2 pounds. You can use an action to remove the stopper and speak one of 3 command words, whereupon an amount of fresh water or salt water, your choice, pours out of the flask. The water stops pouring out at the start of your next turn. So you can essentially produce a gallon of water, 5 gallons of water, or 30 gallons of water.
I find this really useful. We could.
30
Is there like-
gallons
is there
could
like
probably
tension
ship
to
someone
it?
up, right?
Or is it just
And the 30 gallon one gushes out, basically a geyser, 30 feet long and 1 foot wide.
Just shoot it.
Yeah.
How much is it?
As a bonus action, while holding the decanter, you can aim the geyser at a creature you see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed on a DC 13 saving throw or take 1d4 bludgeoning damage and fall prone.
That's actually good.
just need to combine it with like
How
an
much
ice,
does that
like an ice
cost?
spell?
I could
That's
free stuff.
500 gold.
Well, we're getting
We're
that,
definitely
sure.
getting
We're
that.
getting that one.
And then there is also an ever smoking bottle.
Oh,
Oh, I want to
I
smoke
can
all
see
day.
how that would be very useful to us.
Just
So
smokes
that's
all the
what
time.
Exactly.
Custom smoke screen.
When you use an action to remove the stopper, a cloud of thick smoke pours out in a 60-foot radius from the bottle. The cloud's area is heavily obscured. Each minute, the bottle remains open, and within the cloud, the radius is increased by 10 feet until it reaches a maximum of 120 feet radius. The cloud persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing the bottle requires you to speak its command word as an action. Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. A moderate wind can also disperse the smoke after
Oh,
1
your gust
minute.
of wind.
I find that
Can you
could be
roll
really
on
good.
it?
Moderate. I think that's-
So essentially, it can create an obscured area.
Is it like so? It's a circle, but then like the inside is all clear. Is that what it is?
No, it's just a big.
So wait,
cloud.
No, the
What?
entire area
Yes.
is just.
Would it, Dad, if we, like, pretend we're going down a hall, we're trying to retreat, could we open the bottle and run and the smoke would come behind us and they wouldn't be able to see us then? Pretty
I think
much?
it's like an instant effect, isn't it?
Well, it's a 60-foot radius from the bottle, so you'd be running into smoke as well. 'Cause
Okay.
it goes out in all directions.
I think the water one is worth having.
Yeah.
Because I can do stuff with water. I can.
Little
I
puff,
mean,
Yeah,
puff
you
of
can
water.
well, I can probably
It's actually
freeze
called
and stuff
water.
like that too if I need to.
There's a pair
Can
of
drink it.
gauntlets.
Ooh.
Golden.
Can we lift stuff?
Are we able to lift
They-
large,
they-
heavy black rocks?
They are
Walking into the fairy fountains.
they are called gauntlets of ogre power,
Oh, I like that.
which bumps your strength to 19
Oh, I need
Just
that.
automatically,
automatically.
That's
They
expensive.
have no effect on you if your strength is already 19
but
or
probably
higher.
a disadvantage or no? Is there a disadvantage to those?
No, your strength is 19.
Oh, I
If
need
you
that.
wear
My
them.
strength is 18. I need
Yeah,
that.
you're good.
Okay, so those have to be what, 10,000?
1,500, and you have to attune to them.
We don't need
Anybody
we,
who needs strength already has like
Yeah, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't need that. Daniel has 18. We wouldn't even do anything.
There's
for
a
him.
rope of climbing,
Oh.
which essentially is a rope that goes straight up into the air. I forget how, I could look it up, but essentially it goes up maybe 30 feet or
Can you
so,
use
and you can climb up that rope
Use
into a
dex.
little pocket dimension and just disappear, and come out of it as well. And that and the
You
rope,
people can?
you can.
Why would you
What do
climb
you
into
mean,
a
you
pocket
people?
dimension?
Just you can.
Well, what did you do in
Is it
there?
You
open
can
forever?
get out of the fray,
You can just climb
shoot
up
from
and-
within it, peek out and fire or whatever like that.
Ooh, hot.
Is it open forever too?
Let me look it up. Rope of climbing,
You know what you could do with the rope of climbing?
60-foot length of rope, silk rope. Could hold up to
So you just
3,000
activate it and it goes
pounds.
straight up?
That's what he said.
If you hold one end of the rope and use an action to speak the command word, the rope animates. As a bonus action, you can command the other end of the rope to move toward a destination you choose.
This does sound useful.
10
Is that
You
Come
can
on.
use it across
Yeah,
gaps
moves
with
10
like a
feet
door
on your turn
with a
when you
pin.
first command it, and
Well, you
10
don't-
feet on
Well,
each
it
of your
goes
turns
up
after
though. It
that.
doesn't go out.
No.
He just said we can
Direct
like,
it.
direct it wherever we want to.
Well, you could also do so with the immovable rod. You could also theoretically use it to climb up and attach a normal rope to like a rod higher up or attach to something.
Okay, so
higher
I'm
up.
wrong. I was confusing it with another item. It doesn't do the thing about the pocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's a different thing. So, but what it can do is, if you tell the rope to knot, large knots appear at 1 foot intervals along the rope, which brings it down to a 50-foot length. But it gives you these little hand and foot holds.
This could be a useful item. Yeah.
For signing up stuff.
You can tell the rope to fasten itself securely to an object, or to unfasten itself, to knot or unknot itself, or to coil itself for carrying. It's essentially the same kind of rope that Sam uses when they're with Gollum in the
We
Emmett
was talking
movie.
about how they always
Still,
can't
it
get
could be
those
useful.
knots.
Like if it's not super expensive, it might be good.
How
to
much is that?
have.
500 gold.
So we got. I think we should definitely get the water one and definitely the rope.
Yeah, that's 1,000.
That's only 1,000. That's still pretty good.
And then the last item on that table,
Oh, there's more. Ooh,
is a
there's
Brooch
more,
of
I think.
Shielding.
That's probably a
What does
plus
that
1
do?
brooch.
While wearing this brooch, you have resistance to force damage, and you have immunity to damage from the magic missile spell.
Interesting.
Nah, I don't. If we're not ready to
How much is that one?
1,500. You have to attune to it.
I don't think we really need that.
What
Any
else
other,
you got?
any other tables?
That's the tables. What's left is behind the counter, and I've told you the armor items. There are several potions.
We should look
Let's
at the
hear it.
potions.
3 potions of healing, 2 potions of greater healing, 1 potion of superior healing, potion of fire resistance, potion of hill giant strength, a potion of climbing, and a potion of fire giant strength.
Let's hear the strength ones.
For hill giant, 550. For fire giant, 4,000.
What do they do?
What did they do?
Well, it bumps your strength up for a certain time, but
What's the difference between the hill giant and the fire giant?
There would. I don't think those would have a cap though. Like Daniel could take one of those.
Right.
Yeah. So potion of hill giant strength. Let me
Right,
first.
plus 1.
Surely it's more than just one.
Okay, so the effect lasts for an hour. For the hill giant strength, your strength goes to 21. For the fire giant strength, your strength goes to 25
Holy
Holy cow.
25?
for an hour.
That would be a plus 7 bonus.
And you see them; those 2 potions are floating there in this kind of murky water, and you see floating in the water is a fingernail.
Nope, don't want it.
How much is the fingernail?
That's the potion.
It's in the potions.
Oh, I see.
Here's a question. Just not
You
curious.
see the one with one of the potions has just within the clear liquid, there's a flame burning right in the middle of it. And that's the potion of fire resistance.
Here's a question. Just because I'm curious, how much is the superior
25
potion? I'm just kind of curious. How much does it cost?
3,000.
That's quite a bit for that.
What about the basic healing? How much is that?
75.
75 gold for
You're not there though.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
no one was asking.
Yeah.
I was curious how much they cost. So.
75.
You didn't know that. I
Just the
knew that.
regular
Just
healing
that.
potions cost 75 gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
One
That
last
seems
question.
expensive.
One last question because I want to
Do you
know.
say that?
For no.
It is. You know that you can get them cheaper. You've seen them cheaper.
By the way, here's the question. Because I'm kind of curious. How much is the superior potion like bonus?
The superior potion is 8d4 plus 8.
We're not really.
I
at
don't
the
think
health
we
yet.
don't need
No,
that.
Yeah, we're not the
no,
health
I
where
know.
that
I was just
actually
wondering how
matters.
much
No, I
it
don't
was.
think we need it.
I was wondering how much it was.
Was there anything else, or is that it behind the counter? It's just those 2.
Nope, that's just the potions.
Okay.
There's a dagger, which is a dagger of venom,
Oh.
Ooh,
Sounds
it's
interesting.
venom.
not to be confused with the movie Venom.
Mm-hmm.
It's easily.
No commentary on it. The dagger of venom is essentially a +1 dagger, but
Strikes cost down.
you can use an action to cause a thick black poison to coat the blade. The poison remains for 1 minute, or until an attack using this weapon hits a creature.
Oh.
That creature must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 2d10 poison damage in addition to the damage the dagger does.
2d10.
That's pretty high
Can
concentration.
you just use that
too.
action
That's
every
a
time?
hard
Is
save.
that- No,
Yeah,
it can't be.
15.
It can be used.
Especially
It
for
can't be
you.
used that way again until.
Oh wait,
the
no,
next
it's not.
round.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not
So
charisma.
it's
It's
one
one
time.
Okay.
One
But-
for a day.
But it
It's
takes
not
an
charisma,
act.
my
Well,
bad.
it's a +1 dagger
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
that
my constitution.
can
that
do
was
this
pretty
once
good.
per day as well.
So that's probably what, 5,000?
It is.
I was gonna for that for
That's
right
not
now.
worth it.
There is a long sword that is called a Dragon Slayer,
Oh, I
don't
want that.
want
I
it.
want it.
which he
They
kind
don't
of
work.
which he kind of chuckles to himself as he says, "Ironic, isn't it?"
What?
That you dropped it.
No, he didn't. No, it's
Should
because
we
there's
see
no,
if
dragon,
there's
there's no
dragons?
dragons in this world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's why?
How much is it?
It's
How do you know I
5,000.
dropped it?
And
You
what
don't
is
know
it?
that.
Just I'm thinking +2 for that, and then more for if it's against a dragon.
Oh, I want this. Gotta drop it.
There's no great axe in this store, I noticed.
Yeah, I know so too.
I know we're getting close to the end.
Yeah.
And
+1 bonus to attack, blah blah blah. When you hit a dragon with this weapon, the dragon takes an extra 3d6 damage.
That's a lot of
For
damage.
the purpose of this, for the purpose of this weapon, dragon refers to any creature with the dragon type, including dragon, turtles, and wyverns.
What about...
So it could have some
Kobolds.
use. But
You already one shot them anyway.
That's right.
What about yeah?
What
then,
about?
in addition, there is a ring of spell storing, a ring of shooting stars.
Ooh, we shoot stars.
Those are the only two rings back there.
Let's hear it.
Spell storing is 4,000. Shooting stars is 40,000.
4T.
40.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
Is that a spell?
What is that? What does that do?
I want to hear about it. I know it's expensive.
That is ridiculous.
We'll be back for this one.
Ring of shooting stars.
Does it shoot stars down?
What is like a ridiculous amount of damage?
The ring has 6 charges for the following other properties. Okay, so while wearing this ring in dim light or darkness, you can cast dancing lights and light from the ring at will. Casting either spell requires an action. Hold on. It has 6 charges for the following other. So those don't take charges, but there are 6 charges, and it can recharge with these other things. So Fairy Fire.
Oh.
You can expend 1 charge as an action to cast Fairy Fire from the ring, or Ball Lightning. You can expend 2 charges as an action to create 1 to 4 3-foot diameter spheres of lightning. The more spheres you create, the less powerful each sphere is individually. But as a bonus action, you can move each sphere up to 30 feet, but no farther than 120 feet away. When a creature other than you comes within 5 feet of a sphere, the sphere discharges lightning at that creature and disappears. The creature must make a saving throw, blah, blah, blah. So if there's 4 spheres, each one does 2d4. With 3 spheres, each one does 2d6. With 2 spheres, each one does 5d4. And with 1 sphere, it does 4d12. And then there's shooting stars. You can expend 1 to 3 charges as an action. For every charge you expend, you launch a glowing mote of light from this ring at a point you can see within 60 feet of you. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from that point is showered in sparks and must make a saving throw, taking 5d4 damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful save.
It's okay.
It does seem like a good ring.
So what about
Powerful.
the storage
40,000
ring?
though. It seems a bit expensive.
That's just, you can store up to, I forget how many.
That'd be a good ring
Ring
for...
stores spells into it. Holding the ring can store up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time.
That'd be a good ring for, like, Elizabeth's... For the Nixon. That'd be...
How much was it?
40,000.
4,000 for spell storing.
So you talk about the other one.
There's a staff of fire, 25,000.
Nope.
There's a staff of healing, 5,000. There's a wand of the war mage, plus 3, 40,000.
I figured.
There's a little jar, just a tiny little jar, but he tells you that it's called sovereign glue. Can bind anything permanently. 50,000.
Sovereign glue is pretty powerful.
What does it do?
There's a belt of there's a belt of dwarven kind for 5,000. And there's an Amulet of Health for 5,000.
What does the belt do?
Sovereign glue.
What does the glue even do? Glue people?
You can bind anything. Literally anything.
With the Belt of Dwarven Kind, your Constitution increases by 2 to a maximum of 20.
I would have.
You have advantage on
Actually, sick.
Charisma, Persuasion checks to interact with dwarves. In addition, while attuned to the belt, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn of growing a full beard.
Why want that
If
one?
you're capable of growing one, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one. If you are a dwarf, blah blah blah, but none of you are. So there's other
need
benefits
that
if you're a
one.
dwarf.
You need that one.
What is the? You said there's like a staff of healing and like the amulet of healing. What do those do?
Gosh, we're gonna have to make some decisions.
Well, we already know 2 of them.
Yeah.
Which ones?
I think the
Hello?
rope and the
In the
20,000.
Staff of
Oh,
Healing. It
okay.
requires attunement by a bard, cleric, or druid. Staff has 10 charges. While holding it, block, spend a charge to cast one of the following spells from it, using your spell save DC and spell casting ability modifier. Cure Wounds, 1 charge per spell level, up to the 4th level. Lesser Restoration, 2 charges, or Mass Cure Wounds, 5 charges. The spell does recharge, and it can do the thing if you, or the staff recharges. If you expend its last charge, then there's a chance that
That could actually be.
that it's gone.
I mean-
Basically, all these things, when you use the last
Yeah.
charge, the check to see if it is destroyed is you roll a d20. On a 1, it's kaput.
So it's not a great chance.
I
No,
don't like
it's
those
not.
odds.
5%. 5% chance.
So what about the
But we would
amulet?
get.
But then we could use sovereign glue and put it back together.
No, it disappears. It's gone.
What's the
Amulet of Health?
Yeah.
That's probably just a bonus to health, I imagine, on the person who's wearing it.
Amulet of Health.
Staff could be
Your
really good.
Constitution score is 19.
What?
Um,
Jeez.
While you wear this, no effect if it's already 19 or higher. That's it. It's not. It doesn't heal. It bumps.
Wait,
up
so
your
if your Constitution goes to 19, that means you're going to get all those extra HP from the levels that you... Okay, that's pretty good.
You just have to have it on you when you level up.
It's you have to attune to it.
No,
as
no,
well.
it's not
How
about,
much is that
it's not about
one?
leveling. It's
5,000.
So if you go from a Constitution of... What are you at right now?
16.
So if you go 16 to 19, you're only going to get a +1. But for each level, you've got... Right, so what, you're level 4, right? So at each level, you would gain a +1, so you would get those +1s all added into it.
It's retroactive,
Okay.
essentially, in that.
It doesn't even affect
So for
me.
someone that's a low Constitution, if you wear that, that's gonna bump your HP
I would say
like
either me or you would need that, kiddo. But
How
you
much
have,
is
you
it?
have 13, I have 14.
How much is it?
If you were to get that.
or like
5,000.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was another staff as well.
Staff of Fire. I'm looking it up right now.
25,000.
Requires attunement by a druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. You have resistance to fire damage while you hold this staff. 10 charges. Blah, blah, blah. Expend charges to cast the spells. Burning Hands, 1 charge. Fireball, 3 charges. Or Wall of Fire, 4 charges.
You can cast that without being the level necessary, right?
Yeah.
For the
How many
25,000.
charges
Goodness.
for Farryn?
3 charges.
And it's
the
5,000
staff
for that
itself has 10 charges.
It's 5,000. for that stuff?
225.
No, for the Staff of Fire, it's 25,000.
Oh, that's okay. That's a lot more. Yeah, never mind.
The Staff of Healing was 5,000.
The staff of healing would be okay, but I don't
That,
think
that
we
was
need
it then?
Let me look up the Staff of Healing real quick.
You just did.
No,
So
I did
we're
the Amulet
looking.
of Health.
We're
You-
looking
you
at
did
about.
Healing was one that cast the.
We have
Oh,
about
yeah. Right.
10,000
Sorry,
gold pieces
sorry.
to spend.
You have how much?
About
10,000.
10,000 gold pieces to spend. Bear in mind, we have to also be able to probably
But
buy horses.
That's
and other
that's
stuff.
from that. I each have our own gold pieces too. I have 115.
I don't-
Yeah, but that's not going to buy anything in the store.
I got like nothing.
One thing I'd like to,
I got
I'm going to buy an
This
armor,
is accurate.
but I'm going to need. I don't know if you guys want, but if I buy
Which
an
armor
armor,
are you buying?
if I get splint, I get an extra armor class. That's only 200. Now I can spend my 150.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. We'll save some for that.
I should probably.
Okay.
Oh.
Maybe what we can do is you could send a list of these items to us, maybe, or so we could decide during the week, kind of, and have an idea.
Yeah, send me a reminder, and I can I can just copy them and put them in an email or a text or something.
That would be helpful.
One other thing you notice as you go up to the counter, as you're looking at these higher dollar items that are behind the counter, is there's a kind of a notice board on the wall where the counter comes over and meets the wall. There's obviously a room behind that as well. There's a doorway into another area that's closed off behind the counter. But on that notice board, you see a sign that reads, ask about a partnership with the Magic Touch.
What's
Can we ask about a partnership with
It's
the
like a
Magic Touch?
rewards program.
We will pick that up next time.
Is it too much to talk about right now?
Oh, fine, I'll tell you.
Just tell us real quick,
He,
then we can think
fine.
about it.
He says, yes, that's a program where select individuals could be representatives of this establishment. If they travel throughout the lands, making mention of my work, of the items that are here, that others might come and partake of what's available to them. Certain people who would rub shoulders with those who could come and purchase such items, you see. So, I'm very selective in who I choose, but those I do also receive a discount on the items they purchase here.
I wonder what discount.
We'll tell him we might know a guy.
Yes, well, feel free to send anyone my way if they meet those qualifications. And you can see in his face that he doesn't expect that you do.
Palmer thinking, write a note to the king.
This guy doesn't like us.
He's not mean, but he seems
He's
maybe
condescending.
he seems a bit condescending, a bit snobbish.
Doesn't like our type.
He just doesn't expect you to be able to.
He
He doesn't expect you to end up being paying customers. Just
I kind of shake him back and go.
I'll be back.
again, he's not being, he's being the type of guy that owns a music store when I, as a 15-year-old, walk in and I'm looking at a $3,000 set of drums that there's no way I was going to be able to buy.
Mm.
Well, we could buy it.
He
But
doesn't-
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
we start buying,
Yeah.
he won't stop giving us discounts.
All right.
All right.
So, all right. Well, we will end here and we'll pick up right here next time. In the meantime, you can think about it. I'll get you the list, and we'll just start back in this store at just about sunset on the 18th, I believe, day of Angaro. And we'll pick it up there next time, hopefully in a week. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
At any rate, and by the way, the city noise never stopped.
I didn't even notice because I was just so used to no music.
Yeah. Thanks everyone, or no one at all, for joining us on this different kind of adventure tonight. Good conversations, some good revelations, and a bit of a shopping episode, which is to be continued. We will see you next time, and until then, have a great day or night, whatever time it is, where you are. We'll see you. Goodbye.